Hey, what up, guys? It's your boy Aniki. We're going live. We got everybody on deck. We're going over the latest chapter of My Hero Academia, Church of MHA, episode 31, chapter 290 of My Hero Academia. We'll eventually end up looping through all the other stuff anyway, because we always do that. And don't forget that your boy is going to be in the greatest manga of 2020 stream this Tuesday on Roger Space Channel, so make sure you tune into that. Now,
let's go. All
right, boom. Did the entire intro just in time for nobody to be here until just now. But that's the important part. Well, because like the intro nobody cares about. So if I just like fire off the intro, then let everybody show up. Like that's the important part is that like everybody's there for this part.
No, the intro is important.
Is the intro important? Because like we're getting a whole lot of people saying let's go. But nobody's saying, damn, I missed the intro.
my favorite streamer, I always miss his fucking intros, and I don't give a shit.
See, Tartar said read, nigga, read. He ain't even tell me to do the intro again. He care.
Sadly, our Bishop Ian said his voice is shot and he can't come through.
What?
He said, can you put Johnny in? Send Johnny a link. He said you should know who he's talking about.
Oh yeah. Then I'll definitely send it to him, especially if it's per Ian's request. Especially like, I'm just setting up the thumbnail too, because I gotta. When you send them to me on my phone, I have to send them to myself through Twitter and do a bunch of. All right, we got like 30 people here though. I'm not gonna make them wait that long. Annalise says, "Damn, I missed the intro." All right, bet. Chapter 290 of My Hero Academia.
Like the stream, guys. Like the stream.
Yeah, I got my steak ready. Got my bishops on deck. Latest chapter of My Hero Academia. Let's go. Kill the TV in room 315. Hurry. She's been making so much progress towards her release, but now this talk about her. Oh, fuck. We're getting some Ray shit. Let's go. Oh, food almost fell off the table. That's wild. Can I get any closer? Hard to make out from this distance. What's our signal? Ooh, that flashback right there. Him sitting there with the undamaged shoulder. Let's go. Is the implication of this that Dobby gets to visit her in the hospital? That's crazy. Master. Superb timing, Makia. After a one-for-all beating from Izuku Midoriya and a roasting from Endeavor, Tomura's body could fail at any moment. Having Ribbit Stab activate from his spinal cord with the auto-tracking reduces the burden placed on his body and mind. Such measures are necessary given this body's wretched state. Now, Makia must be ordered to retreat. There's no way we can handle fighting both that giant and Shigaraki. I'd better take Shigaraki down since he's already on his last legs. So strong, surge, and half cold and half hot. They refuse to give our broken body the slightest reprieve. Output level 100. Flash fire fist. Jet kindling. Nejire flood. Run! And there's the big high five for Makia. They got to get out of here. Ida's carrying Bakugo. Deku's on his knees still. Endeavor's still on deck, but he's on his feet at least, which is more than like Bakugo and Endeavor got going for them right now. Is that Shoto being heavily tossed? Dear Lord Jesus. And there's Nejire. I think she actually managed to avoid it. Oh, yep. There's Shoto bouncing on the ground like a piece of rubble. Nejire, Shoto, put me down and you armored four eyes. Let's go! Bakugo. You're conscious, but take it easy. Your vitals have been hit. Gotta achieve absolute victory. That's my goat. Master, I've come on your will is my command. So give me an order. Shigaraki, you're not looking so hot. You okay, Shoto? Sorry, Hawks. It's my fault that the giant is up and about. Oh, man. I need to take him down. What are his abilities? Got to figure them out and strike back. But one of my lungs is shot. How hard can I even hit with every breath I take is agony? Just watch me. I have to do it. After all, I'm this nation's top. Oh my God. Also says, I am so sorry. You are going through it, aren't you, right now, my girl? Ooh.
I actually like it so far.
Oh, there you are. You look like ants from far away here. Oh, do I spy Shoto too? That's perfect.
Where's my Shueisha is going?
I'm on page 8 to 9.
Yeah,
Dobby.
Shueisha has mixed up the pages.
Uh-oh.
Does sometimes it doesn't load one page or so.
All right, are you good now, or am I gonna spoil you?
Yeah, no, I've read the scans anyway, so I'm spoiled.
Okay. Dobby. Now we've got the whole league to deal with. Ouch. Is that any way to address me? And he's pouring water or whatever on over his hair. I have a great name. Call me Toya. Where Rex at?
It's a convenient job interview, isn't it?
That was my first thought.
Where is Rex?
That was my first thought. I was like, "Where's that? I need that."
It
clown
is
suit.
a convenient job interview. We have to remind him next week, I guess.
Man, he comes back. He said that
not
he'll
next
come
week.
back in
Next
the
week.
street.
Yeah, but I doubt he will be in clown
Next week
costume right
next
after
week
his
he
job
better-
interview.
Nah.
No,
Next week
he's going to be. We already discussed
this.
he's going to be in clown costume next week because we weren't going
Next
to be.
week, yeah.
We already discussed this.
I wish you would have sent him. I wish you would have sent it to him on Friday.
But he ordered it on Friday.
Oh, he did.
I think he ordered it Thursday. No, he seen this. He's seen the spoilers Thursday. He ordered Friday. I finally changed my fucking Abby. Good Lord.
You get it.
Yo, see, like everybody's like Rex is suspiciously absent. See, we gonna get him in the suit, boys. We gonna get Rex
He's
in that
coming
suit
back.
on stream.
We need to roast him.
I'm letting you know now. This is really going. This shit is really going like. They're gonna see Rex in the costume and they're gonna feel sad for that motherfucker, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, his sympathizers gonna grow."
Yeah, this is how the Rex faction arc of the Church of MHA truly gets popping. Rex forced to wear a clown suit after insisting that Dobby was not Toya. It's almost as delicious as the steak I'm eating. Great.
Somebody said that this chapter is less about Toya and more about Rex.
Oh no!
They're not wrong.
Oh, I have a great name. Call me
True,
Toya. Damn, bro. The panel. Oh, god
Okay.
damn.
I have a great name. Call me Toya. You're that dumbstruck? Really? I know my face ain't exactly what it was, but I was sure my own skin could have figured it out. Or own kin could have figured it out. Yo, the look on their faces, though, this is top notch. Your older brother, Toya, that's Todoroki's. I'm Toya Todoroki, the eldest son of Endeavor. To date, I've killed over 30 innocent people in cold blood. Yo, okay, so that's what this is.
That's what you've been waiting for quite a while.
They've hijacked the frequencies too. Let's go. To date, I've killed over 30 innocent people in cold blood. And today, I'd like everyone to know exactly what drove me to such despicable acts. Once upon a time, Endeavor yearned for nothing but power. But when he found out himself unable to surpass All Might, he despaired. To concoct even stronger quirks, my father forced the woman who would become my mother to marry him. Uh-oh. But that's when my father created me in pursuit of his selfish, egotistical dreams. Rubble everywhere, all over the place. And oh snap, that's Can't You See Coon? Let's go. Back to Can't You See Coon. You know he gonna be feeling some type of way.
Niggas
Yeah.
are dying. Yeah.
It didn't take long for him to reject me. I was tossed aside and forgotten, but I never forgot a thing. And I had plenty of reason to keep watching you. I'm not saying everyone has to be pure and selfless, just you. That murderous flames of mine are Endeavor's flames. And guess what? Right now, my pre-recorded life story is broadcasting nationwide on the net. Quite the ace up his sleeve. Man, I'm having a blast. Sorry, where was I? How could I make you hurt? How to best stomp all over your life. I've been pondering all this ever since that day. I couldn't figure out why I even existed. And every day I crawled to Natsu crying, my eyes out. Not that you ever knew, right? When you finally achieved success with your little puppet Shoto, I thought killing him might do the trick. But then who would have guessed you got bumped up to number 1? Suddenly, I was rooting for your happiness. My blood ran cold when I thought you might bite the big one in Kyushu. Then I let Star Servant and send it and ending straight to you, one after the other. Let's go! Y'all slandered Dobby. Y'all swore this man wasn't a good character. Y'all swore he was being carried by fan theory.
Y'all?
No. Let me see. And we talked about this. There's a thing in literature where you intentionally set it up so that your audience knows shit, even if the people in the show or the series don't. And so what you do is you create a different form of suspense where you're constantly waiting for the shoe to drop for the people in the story instead of for yourself. And that is what Dobby has been. Oh my God.
Well, I've already seen some niggas being like, he set this up for 300 chapters and thought it was gonna hit. And I was like, yeah, he wasted everybody's time. Like, what?
No, it does hit, just doesn't hit us.
No, it hits us. Oh no.
Yeah, it hits us too, but not the reveal in the sense of
it hits.
What hits us is the reaction or what it means for the characters involved. Not so
You
much.
don't need to explain it to me. I'm not
It's
saying, it's not my
Toya!
thoughts.
Surprise!
I just said you don't need to explain it to me. It's not my thoughts.
That's why. That's also why the reveal is so easy. You just say, "Hey, I have a great name, Call me Toya," with the big smile on his face,
It's
I actually saw somebody say that they felt that was too sudden.
Way more than I like these out of nowhere reveals. I always like it when they are set up nice reveals, and it's not just a twist that comes out of nowhere, and as the audience you just sit there and think, "Well, that was just."
Was I dumb for missing that?
Out of the head.
Well, the thing is, I don't think shock reveals can be good too, as long as there's been like a bunch.
No, they can be good, of course.
Yeah, I think as long as they're subtle.
In general, in general, I just prefer those to the out of the head reveals.
So
here's
the thing, real quick, about shock reveals is that I realized this rereading Chainsaw Man actually, that there's some good setup in Chainsaw Man, but it's not enough that you don't feel shocked by like over half the betrayals and stuff. It hurts reread value when most of your punch comes from the shock and not the setup.
I agree with that. No, I definitely agree with that. The problem with shock reveals versus setup reveals is that shock reveals, when you first read it, that shit is amazing. But once you go back and read it, it does not hit nearly the same because what made it great was the twist. That's why I can't ever rewatch Mirai Nikki because I remember most of the show. But most of the show is twist.
Yeah, right. Like they borderline traumatize you, so those moments are great, but they're only great that one time.
Hey, Aniki, head to the Twitter. Dustin texted you in there too, and he's supposed to come by today too. Rex should be here any minute.
No, he will not. No, he will not.
No, he said he had to get ready for his interview, but he said we thought we was gonna do it at 12, and he said he'll be here at 12. We got like 30 minutes.
I thought he said he would be. Oh, I get it.
Remember, it was at 12. We were supposed to do it, but we had it early. We didn't really. None of us remember because we didn't read Panzu's message. Sorry, Panzu.
Thank you, bro.
Wait. So I get it now. So he was going to. He thought the chapter was releasing at 11, and he was saying he would be here for 30 minutes, and he had to be at the interview later. Is that it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I see now.
All right.
To be honest, I'm just baffled that it's Sunday and he's at a job interview.
I'm not. Yeah. We work on Sundays.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
But we don't have it here in Europe.
It's so strange.
You didn't know the US was
against all instincts.
No, I get it. I get it. Like y'all actually have a decent society. It actually somewhat cares about its civilians.
That's true. So yeah,
you were finally number one. It's all you ever wanted, but it must have weighed on you, right? Or was all the praise and admiration like chicken soup for your soul? When at long last you could stare your kids in the eye, did you finally start to feel the warm and fuzzy bonds of family? You must have thought, as long as I face the future, I can be better. I can tell you're at a loss for words, so here's the answer. The past never dies. Get it yet? You reap what you sow. So let's tango. You and me, NG Todoroki. A dance with your son here in hell. Oh my God.
That be Smack-Y's dance.
That
Smack-Y's dance. That be Smack-Y's dance.
By the way, reading the chapter now in the official translation, I'm really amazed how, in the sense of what they actually say, it's pretty much the same. but in the tone, there's this small shift where in the scans, you got the feeling that Endeavor, like this part, once upon a time, that was not in it, right? He just said, my father Endeavor was so and so and so and so. Like there was never this once upon a time or this you changed thought. Here it seems to suggest that Darby is very much aware that his father did shift gears and now wants to atone very much. While in the scans, it very much had like the opposite time where he said, yeah, he realized his father wants that, but he's not actually doing that. If you understand what I mean? Like there's this weird shift between this, which I find very interesting.
No,
I'm going to say, oh, sorry.
So what I'm thinking, what you're saying is that it is more like in the official chapters, it is made like a story, that he's telling just a story right now to people. Because what I'm thinking about right now is that what he's saying right now, he also said it in the video.
No, what I mean is in the scans, he
sounds
much more deranged. Actually, he sounds
much more deranged.
He says the same things in terms of actual content, but how he says it is much more like radical.
I'm just
like he never really acknowledges that his father did change, while this once upon a time is like a small kind of acknowledgement. He never does that. Also, he says he sent Endeavor Ending and what was the other name, Star-Lord, and in the scans he was like he sent Ending and Star-Lord specifically to kill, right?
That depends.
I was going to add that for one, yeah, this is another reason why you don't read fucking scans, because it had some of these motherfuckers thinking there's a line like we're like, but they said like we can't like when like the broadcast was being interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from when that happened in the translation, they switched. They had that be Dobby talking instead, and had him. And let me see if I find the page. Give me a second, because it's in the beginning of the chapter when like they're focusing on Ray's room, and it says something about the broadcast. Let me go back to it. Right here, it says cannot get any closer. Hard to make out.
That was not about Darby. I thought that was always the broadcast beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you think. That's what it is. But in the scans, it's in. I'll go to the scans right now. Give me a second.
I read it in the scans that it was also the journalist or whatever. Actually,
no. I'm sure it was.
The sentence was different. The sentence was so much different. Like it translated it so much different that I thought she was watching a movie or something. Like I didn't realize in the scans that she was watching the actual fight.
That wasn't the point I was getting at. What I was getting at was they took this to say they thought it was Dobby saying, what is it? I didn't know if this was the right room or not, or some shit like that. And then when he said that, they were like, and then with the way that the panel was set up and it has the flower, they were like, oh, it was Dobby who brought the flower, not Endeavor.
Yeah. No, that was. I think it was a misinterpretation of the reading. Like I don't think when I read it, I never read it as Darby is saying that. I thought this was whatever she watched before, but because it was translated so differently, like here she says they are too far away. That's what she says in the official translation. She said like, I'm not sure if I'm in the right room, which was why I thought she was watching some kind of movie beforehand, and I wasn't actually aware that she had watched apparently the entire fight up until now, which I have to admit, the doctor's coming in to cut the TV for her now is a bit late.
No, I found it. It says, I watched you from afar, so I wasn't really certain for sure if this was the right room. And to me, I thought that was Dobby too, because of the fact that right after we see the TV and Dobby. So that's why I thought that was the case. But the way they interpreted it was Dobby saying that, oh yeah, so it was Dobby who sent her the flower, not Endeavor. Endeavor didn't do shit.
That might explain why so many people thought that he sent this video out specifically to Ray and not to everybody.
Dobby didn't send the flower. What are you talking about?
No, he's talking about dumb stuff that came from people who read the scans.
That's what the scans people thought.
Because there were actually quite a few people
talking about from this chapter
that Dobby was sending this video specifically to Ray and nobody else.
If anybody If anybody read the chapter and saw that flower and thought Dobby brought it to her, they don't read My Hero Academia. You can't blame the
Yeah,
stand.
I
I think
mean,
it was. I know. I think it was dumb as fuck
it's a
too. But
short-term
the
memory.
reason they thought that is because they thought that from the scanlation, when it says "I watched you from afar," so I wasn't really certain for sure if this was the right room. Because I thought that was Dobby talking too.
That's dumb.
I thought that was Dobby
But
talking
yeah,
too. I definitely didn't think that was.
don't try to
that
kill.
meant
Don't
he-
try to go on. Don't try to use that as a crusade. Your crusade against scans, nigga.
I mean, they
But
still mid, but
It is
thanks,
Scans
thanks,
are
thanks, Anakin,
Yeah.
for letting me in. See you. I see you at 100 viewers now. Look at you.
Oh
Came
shit!
up.
Wait, we had 100.
We get 100.
Ooh, let's go.
We get 100.
Yeah, we're sitting at 101 right now. See, I'm so focused on like what's actually happening in this
Like the
chapter.
stream, guys. Like the stream. Sorry. My bad.
I gave it a like. But yeah,
See,
fuck him.
Dustin coming out of retirement for this chapter. Yeah, see,
I told you I was gonna be here whenever this chapter happened.
man.
God damn, he got my whole name on the screen. That's crazy. Apple is trash.
Oh,
Oh
you
no,
can,
man,
you can
I
leave out and
don't
fix
know.
it.
I really don't care.
Take this
But I
off.
was just still surprised at that.
This should have my whole government name on here. I had to fix that mad quick.
That's what happened when JD came on for the chorus stream. He like popped in for like 5 seconds, saw his name, and was like, "Hold up." Like, I had to I messaged him real quick, like, "You straight?" Like he was like, "Oh yeah,
Damn,
no,
you
they had
started
my government
early.
on it."
I wanted to catch your whole reaction. I had set my alarm for 8:30. I had read the chapters first. I was like, this Anakin, I started until 12.
No,
this nigga already started.
I start as soon as I wake up now. Since this like starts at 10, like I don't fall asleep till like 1, 2 in the morning. Then I like wake up at like 10 something. Then it's like, all right.
Motherfucker, I used to go to sleep at 4, but this election had me going to sleep at a decent time. So I don't know.
I work second shift normally. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
So do I.
You should have seen my reaction. As soon as I seen Dobby was told you, I started calling this nigga Rex a clown. This clown ass nigga.
I wish one of y'all would have just sent him the fucking suit. I unsolicited.
He said he gonna get it this week.
Apparently he said he already has it.
He's so okay. He's such a capper.
Man, we're gonna see. Because if he already got it, I expect him to show up during this stream with the honker on, with the wig and the bands. You know what I'm talking about.
Why he not here? Why he not here right now?
Allegedly, he's at a job interview.
Oh, he's capping. On a Sunday?
That's why I said allegedly.
Who has a job interview on a Sunday?
I mean, I've had one on Sunday. Hold up.
See?
I've had one on a Sunday before. Yeah, I've had one on a Sunday before.
You was working at Walmart, nigga?
I don't work at Walmart
on a Sunday. That's what I'm saying. Who does a job interview except at Walmart on a Sunday? Like, what kind of shit is that? Especially for what he does.
Specifically asked for it because
I don't know what he does. I
wear the clown costume.
Yeah, so
Maybe it's an interview for a clown from the clown thing. You don't know.
Yeah, but this chapter was fucking.
Yeah, I bet
This
that
chapter was,
the people from the job offer were actually like, you have time Monday afternoon? No, Sunday is perfect. How about right during the stream where I don't have to wear the clown costume?
This chapter was great though.
How y'all feeling about Can't You See Coon? Because like I feel like we just watched a child get their life crushed. Like you just helped this man go viral. You helped that man be like the most, and then now you in the mud.
Oh, that's get your ass in here, man.
Where is that? What page is that?
Can't you see Coon? You can see him on.
Wait,
hold up. Because during the newscast, you can see him on page.
Hard to take.
1213. Him and the Shark Boy is watching it on their computer.
Oh, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah,
nigga, how you ain't? You blame
because of Shark Boy.
Oh! Y'all didn't talk about who about to pull up at the last panel, did you?
Best Genius, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
She said, "Can't you see Coon pulling up on him?"
No, we're talking about Can't You See Coon.
You see the plane.
No, I'm talking about Best Genius is coming, like confirmed.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Best Genius soon.
One of my mutuals pointed something out though.
Is it the plane?
With the panels though. Which was that?
One of my mutuals.
Notice, huh?
Nothing, nigga.
Like look at how like whenever they're showing Dobby and not Dobby, Shoto and Endeavor's faces, they're like there's a big emphasis on Shoto's scar and there's a big emphasis on covering up Endeavor's. The idea there is that it's showing one of the consequences of his actions with Shoto's scar, and it's covering up and it's like it's Dobby rejecting his redemption, covering up Endeavor's scar.
That's a nice interpretation. Didn't think of it like that. I just thought you wanted to have half panel, but
I didn't either until
like
they pointed that out. So that's actually a very good way of looking at it.
Something else I want to point out, which I have been made aware of, is how different he presents himself in the TV movie to where we actually see him on the battlefield. Because in this video, he's like super calm and collected. He's like, once upon a time, let me tell you this nice story. I'm super calm. I'm super collected. I'm telling you a bit of crazy stuff, but I'm sitting here as a mostly reasonable person. He acts like that. Of course, he also admits to murder, but how he behaves, his demeanor is very much in control. But in the battlefield, he's like dancing and smiling and grinning and.
But of course, because his goal, the entire thing.
Yeah,
he wants
but it's like
there.
this very difference in demeanor towards how he portrays himself in this video and how he acts on the battlefield.
I mean, that's generally how Dobby is for the most part.
Yeah.
In general, like that. It's just like, I mean, there's the only times he's ever actually been truly excited is when he had Endeavor on Death's door. He don't get excited.
Hawks.
He truly didn't give a fuck about Hawks, really. Like how he said, he was acting out his anger. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, Horikoshi already said that in Ultra Analysis that Dobby and Twice were like brothers. So that confirmed that he gave a damn. So the discussion about that is over. My mom was never getting changed on that point. We had this argument, but you're not gonna battle me on Horikoshi stating it himself.
Damn, guys.
Man, look.
Horikoshi is writing about cancel culture right now. It's the last chapter.
Look, man, we gonna wait in. Look,
I was going to ask.
Dobby cares.
What chapter is on Black Speech Bubble? Do y'all remember?
I don't remember exactly which chapter. Here, let me real quick find it though, because I think it's around 272.
Because there's something I need to find there. 272, you said?
I think it's around 272. Let me just double check. I don't want to send you on a goose hunt. Nah, 272 is when Shig woke up. I lied. See?
All right, let's talk about Nejire going green flood in this bitch.
Oh no! I just read something that his hair of Dobby was red, but the stress turned it white.
Yeah. Apparently, that's the thing.
Oh shit! Because
you can see it in the panel when he's a child that he has dark hair, but is on the crown of his head it's turning white. I think that's what this signifies.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Horikoshi was just tired of the debate because he always drew it white, but the anime made it red, and then.
Well, that's a good way of getting them both.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Right?
My goal is considerate. Yeah. Such a kind man. Trying to fix Bones fucking up mistakes.
Well,
that was Bones fucking up. Shigaraki's hair color was Horikoshi fucking up.
But it's also the best.
They don't believe that. I think that was planned.
Because it is also the most logic thing to do. Because right now, when you think about it, the red hair means the fire side and the white hair means the ice side. You know, by having the white hair with fire quirks, that was really weird, I will say, to my eyes. But yeah, oh man, the expressions, you know,
Black Speech Bubble is 267.
No, it makes sense. I think I don't need any more after Dobby now. I think I have enough villains with having turned white hair somewhere halfway through there.
Oh yeah, because they think. Because the reason I wanted to find this is because it was because he actually told him his identity in the exact same arc of this Black Speech Bubble. They're now thinking that he didn't tell him his identity; he told him something else.
Don't do that, bro.
I don't know. It's like 20. How many?
I mean, that makes sense.
It don't make sense because he asked him, "Who are you?" and then he did a Black Speech Bubble right after.
Nigga, he didn't have to actually say, "My name is Toya." He could have said something else.
Okay, he could have said something else, but
the reason they think that is because of the fact that he knows who he is. So that something has to be whatever he told him has to have some sort of connection to him.
Well, okay, so the other thing about that though is that you have to remember that Hawks is an Endeavor fanboy. So just like Can't You See Hoon is in the mud, Hawks would have been in the mud as soon as he heard that.
mean, that's a possibility too, but it still doesn't explain how he knows who he is. That's the
No, what I'm saying, but it's,
I mean, if he said,
ain't
all you have to say was Toya Todoroki.
it been a theory that ain't it been a isn't it been a theory that Dobby was somehow like involved with Hawks and like the Hero Commission or some shit?
Yeah, no, that is a theory, and that's
just an agenda that I've been pushing though. I don't know.
That's a theory.
Yeah, but if that were
nigga, you ain't the only one been pushing that
would have
agenda.
known about
Yeah, I ain't seen
some of
nobody
the
saying it, but I
past,
don't watch
right?
anybody's scan videos either. So
Whoa, man! We
I don't know
got
about you.
people on the stream right now. Damn.
what?
How many people are on the stream?
Oh, 115. That's a new high.
That's new hell.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that's so it's like there's probably more to what he said in this, because that's why it's Black Speech bubbled. Because
no, it's Black Speech bubble because it wasn't supposed to be known in the story at any way until it was Endeavor was there. That was the whole point.
Yeah, I think both make sense. I think it would make sense for it to be censored here because he wants to have that reveal for everybody with Endeavor and Shoto present. But
like the stream people.
It could also be possible that he did say something else to Hawks.
Like what?
I don't know what. The thing is, the question was very specific, like, who are you? And
yeah,
like,
that's okay.
With some weird roundabout way would be.
So one of my big rules when you discuss things like this is that, like, if you're going to posit an alternative theory, you have to have a solution for what was done there.
But that's what I told you. It's something like that can pertain.
Nah, that's too vague, my nigga. Because Toya Todoroki could be specific because he could know who Toya is because he could have spent time with him. So if you say his actual name, he don't know who Dobby is. He said, who are you? There's no background on you. I can never find any background, anything, every league member except for you. Who are you?
The reason I'd find that a little strange is just due to the fact that like Endeavor has no idea who Hawks was was big on him as a kid.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with him knowing who Toya is. Like, because heroes not even supposed to know. Like, you're not even supposed to know a hero's name, identity, or family. So Hawks wouldn't know who Toya is based off him being Endeavor's son. He would know who Toya is if he has his own connection to him. So if he has his own connection to him, like people theorize, then the name Toya will hold weight to Hawks too, separate from it being Endeavor's son.
I mean, if we were to assume
the only possible thing is that they had like code names when they were with the Hero Commission. He said his code name or something.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. But that's what I think.
Yeah, I think that if we were to assume that Hawks and Toya have like a past together in some sort of hero program for very much brainwashed children, if that were the case, then maybe it would make sense that they would already kind of operate under hero names early on. And maybe be friends with each other under these hero names. So he could have named a hero name that then never really got official because he never really became a hero. But I don't really know if that would be necessary. I mean, would it really add anything to the story other than, look, here's another hero name, like a third name for Toya? It doesn't really add that much.
And Toya knew the real name of Hawks. So
yeah, exactly. That's a good point. He said his exact full name.
So right now, what we can assume is that they knew each other as child.
BG, don't do a Rex. Don't do a Rex.
I'm not doing a Rex. I didn't say he wasn't Toya. I said that in the Black Speech bubble, that might not have been it. It's a possibility.
That's what Rex would be. I'm not saying he's not Toya. It's not a possibility, but it's a possibility.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not Toya. I'm saying he's Toya. He is Toya. I know he's Toya. I'm
saying you're doing a Rex with this name thing. It's like the same thing, but it's not the. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like my thing is like, to me that was to. Let me put it this way. People have been like, will we, won't we, won't we, for a long time. Like, are we gonna find out or not? Are we gonna find out or not? Are we gonna be told what happened or are we not? Like, for a long time, that's been like on people's minds. So for me, that was Horikoshi setting up like, no, understand this. We handling this plot point. We didn't know that that's what we were being told. But that was basically him being like, no, this plot point is going to come to a head. So y'all better be on the lookout.
Yo,
I can't wait to read. This chapter was that people were saying that this was too predictable.
People don't understand.
I mean, it was predictable, but not for Shoto, not for Endeavor.
I didn't expect Debbie to dance. Man.
I did.
You really did.
It's very much Darby. Yeah.
I didn't even see like the title when I was reading because I was too busy trying to fuck. I was late reading it, so I was trying to get the fuck in there and read it.
I thought you were about to say something else. I was like, whoa, man.
I did not expect Darby to reveal that he had sent ending or star
Servant.
Star Servant. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I did expect him to dance.
When I seen that flower, I was so hyped. I was like, bro, Horikoshi is a fucking god. Putting that flower right front and center at that time.
No.
It was so great.
Oh man. The chapter, like it is also like an I am a father reveal, like in Star Wars, be in the
Reverse.
the reverse way.
Yeah.
So
I still can't get past the fact that the hospital let Rey watch the entire fight up until now before they decided to cut the feed.
No. She was watching something else, I think, right?
No, she's watching the fight. I also thought she was watching something else, but the official scans make it obvious that she's watching the fight.
She's watching the news report for everything that's happening today.
I want to put my piece in on this. I actually got something to say about this. There's a difference in Rey. There's a difference between Eerie watching a massacre of the fucking Japan on TV and Rey, because Rey's trauma comes from Endeavor and them. They were barely making out what the fuck was going on 2 seconds ago.
But I mean, it's a fight where both her estranged husband and son are in. Which I think is not something she necessarily needs to.
The Chopper and them don't know all
live
that.
TV.
The Chopper don't know all that. They can't get that close. They can't have all that exact like in depth because they don't even know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they know that Endeavor is fighting at least. Pretty sure.
Yeah. But there was no broadcast of it. It was the anchor talking about it.
Yeah.
They were trying to get sense of what's going on in the first place.
What I am waiting for is for All Might to pull up and finally end this fight.
Now you're doing the Rex.
No, that was Rex's theory. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, I remember. But yeah, it will be good if Ricochet can make it good. I will say it like this: if All Might comes back here.
No, he can't. No, Aniki, stop.
Aniki,
we're not having that conversation again. Ass.
Look, if it happens, it happens.
Yes.
But I'm not sold on it happening, like at all, like even a little.
Aniki, Ian asked, "Can Johnny get the link?"
I thought I sent it to him.
Because you didn't confirm me or not. You just said,
I sent it to Johnny.
Okay.
Who's Johnny?
He's a guy from Israel. We've been chopping it up on Twitter for a long time, actually. We added more international flavors to this.
Oh,
one more continent, huh?
You thought this was just a stream of Americans and one German and a guy from Belgium? No.
Damn, you gonna cancel Atlanta like this?
We brought you.
Atlanta. You said Atlanta's a different country, bro.
He's from Atlanta.
Continent.
Continent.
That made so much sense. Now, like, I can hear your old accent now. That makes like so much sense that you from Atlanta.
Yeah. Everything makes sense now, huh?
Okay, so by the way, Julian Burns, you mentioned how exactly 100 chapters, So I double checked this because the 267 reveal was like where the black speech bubble happened. So I went back. 167 is the chapter where Endeavor and Shoto basically agree to talk to each other again and see how it works out. So that was 100 chapters after Remedial Course is finished. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn. I like it. Love it. Perfect.
So the final chapter of this year is going to have a nutty finish too, more than likely.
Yeah. Wait, say it again. I told niggas.
I said the final chapter of this year is going to.
No, before that. What you like everything you just said?
Oh, okay. So just like how 190 was like where Dobby pulled up on Endeavor during Pro Hero arc, 167 is where like Shoto and Endeavor were having that conversation at the end of Remedial Course arc, and then they split up. So 267 was when Dobby pulled up on Hawks and dropped the black speech bubble. So it's like you have 100 loops on each of the important reveals for these characters now.
For the Todoroki family.
Yep.
I'm loving the fact that that 190 and 290 line up.
Was 190?
190 is where he's where Dobby pulls up at the end of Pro Hero.
Oh shit!
Also, chapter 67.
I thought he said 167.
Also, chapter
that's Remedial Course.
It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. Chapter 67 is the first chapter you ever see Dobby too.
Oh no!
What's chapter 90? What's chapter 90 then?
Niggas, man.
Oh no!
90.
Chapter 90 is in the middle of Kamino. It's reach out, so it's when All Might first landed.
Nah, no correlation.
I don't know. That
I don't think it's like
sounds
that many
dope, but
weeks.
how Horikoshi? I don't know how you plan that like specifically for a chapter.
I don't know
man.
how
That's
he plans
hard.
half of this. I don't know how he
Yeah,
plans
that's
half of
hard.
this shit anyway.
I mean,
like,
which is
I'm trying to
to be
see his
honest,
drawing board.
not
Like,
the
get my
exact
thoughts.
same chapter, but not far away from the chapter when Endeavor realizes he done
like
goofed.
like the 190 to 290 one, that definitely seems apparent to me. It's the same way that it's the same way that like when the anime is on certain episodes, the manga has something that correlates that episode sometimes. Like for example, when the Wild Pussycats were like just debuting in the anime, they returned finally in the manga.
Wait, 90?
Oh, Hero arc.
Yeah, I remember
Give me
people
a
talking about that
second.
when it happened.
Boku
I was talking to Ian, it was crazy. Was reading the chapter. I was like, bro, like we really thought that Horikoshi could like stretch this reveal out for the rest of the year, but he did that shit like the next chapter. Like that shit was so
Because
crazy.
Horikoshi
Like,
don't play.
yeah, so I love that. But he pacing it so well. Like we got like if he don't take no more breaks the rest of the year, then the last chapter is 196. And I'm like, bro, if he really go to 196 this year, like imagine how much more we're gonna get.
And
how further
the-
we're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like
change
by
the
that
entire
time.
scale.
The funny thing about that is that I 100% agree with what you just said, but for some reason, some people think that the reveal was too sudden, and I'm like, I don't think it was too sudden.
Listen. Let me tell you what was wrong. Let me tell you what was wrong with what you just said. Some people think.
Do they really
that's
think
what they don't. That's what they don't do. Read.
Do they really?
They
think
don't read. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of y'all bringing these bum ass niggas into this damn discussion. Stop bringing these fucking crackheads up, man. I'm tired of this shit. Drop the shit. You claim you beg for this shit. You claim for this shit. You get the shit. Then you complain about it again. I don't give a fuck. Kiss my ass, nigga. I'm tired of y'all niggas. You got a problem, reveal? Suck a dick. I said it. I'm tired of you niggas. You get on my damn nerves.
He went in.
I just found it funny because I was gonna go on the fact that I think that actually the review that being said was intentional. Because of all this, because the fact that we already knew. No, we already knew this. So there's no need.
What's intentional?
There's no need. The fact of like him just dropping his name as quick as he did.
No,
yeah,
I think
Ian was even
What's he
saying like
supposed to
because
do?
he dropped it. He dropped it halfway
drums or?
through the chapter instead of like making it the cliffhanger. Like he just dropped it halfway through the chapter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that's way better.
Yeah, I thought that was intentional because there's no need to drag it out. We know who you are.
And that's why I hate when people was calling it predictable because it's like, bro, it's not predictable. Predictable is like Black Clover, like.
No, it is predictable. It's just not.
No, it's not. Predictable is like I know what you're gonna do. Like, but Horikoshi, it wasn't like we knew Horikoshi was gonna do. Horikoshi let us know what he was gonna do. Wait, but you know what I'm saying? That's not predictable. He's telling us what he's gonna do.
Yeah, all right.
We're not predicting it.
It's pretty much straight up.
Yeah, because like a predictable reveal is supposed to be like you don't give me any hints, but it's pretty fucking obvious at what you're gonna do anyway.
Yeah, what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like when Libe ended up being with Asta's mom, like we were all like, yeah, okay, like we already saw this coming though. Like stuff like that. Like
I know that's a spoiler, but I don't care so much about Black Clover. I don't even know what you just said.
That's fine. It works out.
I know what it is, and I know what it is.
No,
and I
I
don't
guess
even read the series anymore.
My thing about
that's what I'm saying. Me either. I don't read it anymore either.
The thing about the reveal was it was placed perfectly halfway through. It's not like the trade. It's not like something like the traitor, like that would have had to come like at the end of a big thing. Nah, we already knew who Dabi was this entire time. It was no thing. It was no fucking like real secret. It was just all about the execution this entire time.
Right.
So him having this entire speech, and then now after that, see, Ordos don't waste time. If we would have did that, he would have had another speech before the battle or whatever he does the fucking Endeavor. But he's like, all right, reveal, and Dabi gonna talk shit, and he gonna have the whole fucking thing on the internet playing at the same time, and he gonna talk about his backstory just a bit. Then he gonna tell Endeavor now it's gonna go down next chapter. I don't know why niggas talking about it's too sudden. No, nigga, we getting to the point. Ain't no point of fucking tiptoeing around this shit. We already built it up.
It's actually really perfect because we knew that Dabi is Toya. That is, of course, it's something we always wanted to see. We wanted to see this scene, but it's not like this big twist that we like would stare at with open mouths and big eyes just because we now see for certain that he is Toya. So
it's the execution.
Right, if you just saw like some filler speech he gives beforehand before he ends this whole thing with "I'm Toya," we'd end the chapter with "Yeah, we know." We wouldn't know anything. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, you're right.
that's why I love how it was handled, because he just said that because we knew that he's Toya. You see that the way that Dabi said that he was Toya was just like, just a normal way, because it is as if that everybody knew that he was Toya, for us. So he was just talking. He was really talking to Endeavor. So it wasn't shock for us, but it was more like, yeah, we know, but to just see the face of
Yeah,
the
of
characters,
Endeavor and Todoroki,
Yeah.
like they eyes.
And
their
Ray.
eyes and their eyes. You know what? You know that Horikoshi is one of the judge for the Tezuka this year.
Tezuka?
Yeah, he's the international Tezuka. You know what he
Yeah,
said?
so
You know what he said
what?
on his thing? Literally, what he said is the most important thing to me are the characters, their face. I want to see beautiful expressions, beautiful characters, and they show me the world. He just said this. So, and what we see today is exactly this. The face expression made the whole chapter. The face expression for every character, every character we were suffering in from the destruction of Makia. Ray, the doctors sort of tried to cut the television. Just Dabi when he was sitting explaining in the standing who he was and how he was suffering, and he dancing around like his tango, bro.
My homie Sherm, I want to know what y'all think. My homie Sherm said this chapter was a 7 because he felt like that Horikoshi should have just told us Dabi, like he should have told the audience Dabi was Toya like a long time ago or some shit like that.
Why?
No.
And how
No,
would
but
you,
he said
how
like
would you do that?
like he should have like not like he should have like act like some reveal where Dabi actually said it and we just knew this whole time, like actually knew. Because he was saying like the suspense, he didn't like the suspense of this whole time of, and we are like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get him some more.
I can't agree on that.
I think what
at the end of the
Horikoshi
day,
does really well is that he maybe it's something that, considering how young many of the readers are, is a bit it sometimes leads to weird theories. But he doesn't tell us everything straight away. He very much assumes that we are reading this manga as we're thinking about it, and we're actually smart people that can guess what his clues mean. And I actually really appreciate that compared to getting spoon-fed every bit of information.
And and him putting that flower there is a nod to what you just said, because if you're not like reading the story, you wouldn't understand how dope him having that flower front and center like that in this situation. It's crazy.
But what I was going to say was, I don't think he should have told us that, because at the end of the day, I still want to know when the characters know. That makes it, because then I get to feel even though I don't feel their reaction, I get to appreciate their reaction. Because if I already know this, then I'm just going to be sitting here like, so when are you going to tell them? 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 No, fuck that. I find, and not to mention, what would I be excited for then? Like because even then, the fact that I got the confirmation when I read those spoilers, I was super excited. I got super excited. I would not have given a single fuck if I would have already known this. Like, because it's saying like you want the confirmation, because it's not going to make any sense. How the fuck would he have told us? He's going to tell Hawks.
And then my argument was too, is like when Dabi first got introduced, the first thing he said was, my name is going to be revealed at a later time. So it was like he already, you know what I'm saying? Like it was already set.
For once, it kills whatever mystery there was in the beginning. I mean, in the beginning, nobody knew anything about Dabi until it became more and more clear who he really is. So there was a definite mystery there. There was definitely a mystery there. And there's also this thing where, as I said, that I don't want to have everything spoon-fed to us. And lastly, I also think that if you know early on for certain that it is Toya, the longer it takes for this reveal to get to the characters, the more almost annoyed you are with it. Like, I would assume that if we had found out that Dabi is Toya very much in the beginning when we first met him, and we then had to wait 100 chapters until he finally tells the rest of the world. I mean, of course we know that he's waiting for some big moment, but you would also just sit there and say, come on, just tell them. It's so long ago at this point, I don't even really care anymore about it.
Exactly. Like, imagine waiting 200 chapters to find out that Dabi is Toya. I wouldn't be. I'd be annoyed by that.
Let me say this, like I said before, what these niggas don't seem to comprehend. Endeavor is nowhere near the same character he was before.
No.
We were under the impression that Toya, there was an older brother that was never spoken of, but we all knew that he was basically dead and nobody ever heard from this nigga now one time. Correct? So, bro, in this facet, bro, the amount of growth that Endeavor has had, the only time it could have ever been actually revealed logically was at Kyushu Pro Hero. But even at that point, that shit was not the time to do it. As you can see why, because then you find out later how Endeavor has come further than that. Even after that, multiple times, and then EA, and then training Deco and all of them coming close to his family and putting them first. And then now you get how far he's come. Shoto's about damn near to forgive him, or they're going forward in their relationship for Yumi, and he's already like put everybody else forward. Ray's come forward, and like they just said, how far she's come. She's damn near out the hospital. She would have been out the hospital like next month or like 2 months after that, because they already said mom coming home soon. So like, I don't know what y'all don't get. Maybe you just need to reread, or maybe you could just drop it altogether. Because I damn sure am tired at this point. I'm tired of playing nice with you niggas. Either you read or you don't. And keep your mouth shut. Read. It's not that hard to comprehend the story. It's literally
it's that Atlanta shit.
So East, you got to understand something. One of the things that I've realized is that there's like a limit to how many series people can actually properly understand, right? Like you'll run into like some of the most dedicated fucking stands, and they'll like give you a breakdown like perfectly, and you'll be like, wow, they really understand their stuff. They know how to read. And then you hand them anything that's not like Naruto or One Piece, or even like some people with MHA or like Attack on Titan, and their brain turns to fucking jello. They only know like 1 or 2 series for real. They can only analyze like 1 or 2 things.
Bro, that's crazy you said it, because bro, when niggas put their brain on for One Piece, it's like they just go to like every deep crevice of anything possible to. It's like their brain just go to a different processing power. But My Hero with some actually like writing, they don't know what's going on. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
you have to kind
if
of.
If that's the case, I guess I'm not immune from that either, because that was new JJK until the anime came out.
Hey, bro.
No,
look,
you crazy though.
No, I don't dislike. No, I don't dislike JJK. It's just more like I'm a little bit like confused on a lot of things. I don't dislike it. I love it.
I had to admit that the current arc is better than this arc the other day. It was hard for me to admit that too.
Yeah. No,
I can say that, but
if you watch the video, you'll see why he said it. So
I reread that shit, man. I was like, nah, I had to give it to. I couldn't even hold it.
I reread Shibuya Incident like a month ago too. So.
I think Horikoshi can come back like Biden, because he's like at the last. Like this is what we've been waiting on. And this shit finna get hectic. So
is that gonna be the new thing now?
Hold on. Two things real quick. One, since we're on this topic right now. Shit, listen, bro, like MHA is not something you just pick up and drop when they get interested again. It's because niggas talking about something they be forgetting because they're casual readers. You don't get to just pick a series up and then drop the shit and then pick it up again and just drop the shit and then think you really get a valid opinion, because you miss out, you forget half the shit going in. So you don't read it for like 2-3 months and you want to like skim some chapters and then catch back up. Don't get your opinion, you ain't reading this shit. How am I supposed to take you serious? You gonna be looking like Rex in a clown suit talking to me.
That's gonna be a glorious day.
On that next week is on another note, 133 watching now, a new fucking record, dog.
Hey, thank you all for being here.
Anakin came up.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
I mean, we hit 133. I'm like, this is 134. This is like the biggest we've been at.
Dobby bringing you clout.
Guys,
might hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year.
Caleb Cook made a trade for the last chapter. For this last chapter, Caleb Cook made a trade. Made a thread.
Caleb dropped his thread finally.
Yes, really. I was just reading it. I'm gonna. I post it on the group.
I hope it, I'm wondering if even how he feels right now, because niggas like had that shit trending.
He put all his own some comments of his from past threads into it, so it's really a good read. Here it is. I'm sure I put it in the chat.
It's always a good read. When I said how does he feel, it's because of the fact that motherfucker. I feel bad for him because niggas leaked this and it had it trending at number 5 on Twitter.
Yeah, well, he didn't say explicit things about this, you know.
So
what he said right now is he just talks about the chapter.
Okay, nothing too crazy though. Like No extra big reveals that he
No.
put in there for transit.
No. He tried what he did in this chapter, in this thread, just like showing some different pictures from the anime too about the hair, about what we are talking about. I'm talking about it. The Easter eggs about the kid who said like, "Can't you see?"
Yeah. Okay.
This guy and saying that they live in they are out of harm because they know Kyushu is not in one of the places that Jingato Makia was wandering to.
Wait, what?
Yes, the kids
No,
there.
not you. I'm saying like he pointed something out. And this is something I didn't actually recognize. That the broadcast being overtaken, like the TV broadcast being taken over. That actually happened last chapter.
Yes, it was already.
Yeah,
we talked about this in stream because it was like.
I left. Remember?
I think we talked about this in stream. That they.
Yeah, I left pretty early.
Oh,
my cousin.
yeah, it can be. We didn't talk about it long. It was just that there was like half a sentence about how they are losing connection or something like that.
Yeah, it was this. Because I'm reading it right now. Jaku City, fuck that. For what?
Bro, I was reading.
Can we talk about the two Todorokis that are not in the chapter, Fuyumi and Natsuo? How we know if Natsuo Fuyumi is at work. I think. I assume she's working in Mustafu, so I don't think
she's a teacher at school.
Right. I just want to say I don't think she's in the affected area of Gigantomachia.
I hope so.
But I do think that well, so that's the other thing, right? Because of the 5 kilometer radius on his running line is necessarily going to be enough to get Natsuo for Yumi in danger. But I do think it does put them. It does put it into a more nebulous realm where just being near Makia, being within like 2 miles of Makia could be a potential death sentence.
Yep, I don't think they are though, because I
don't either.
A week ago when they talked about the way Gigantomachia was going, I checked on the map where that would roughly be, and we are so far. I think we were always told that Mustafu is more or less at Shizuoka, and that's the other side of Tokyo. So Gigantomachia is on the other side of Tokyo. So I mean, there were a lot of places named that, of course, don't exist really in real Japan. So I don't really know his exact route. So he might be close. But I actually think if he just goes straight, he shouldn't actually be close to Musutafu. And if they both are in Musutafu, and I don't know about Natsuo, because Natsuo might be in college in Tokyo. I'm not sure about this.
I'm personally more interested in how Dabi feels about the rest of his family. Like, how does he feel about his mom? How does he feel about Natsu? How does he feel about Fuyumi? Like, does he have that hate towards him too?
Because I thought that would maybe be a shorter discussion, so we could make those two first and then talk about the others which are in the chapter, which would probably be longer discussions. Because I want to think to ask whether you think how Fuyumi and Natsu will react to finding out that their brother is not only alive, but also a murderer, and now apparently, they won't see this battle because he has overtaken. The battle is not broadcast anymore.
It's gonna be the same as everybody else. It's gonna be shock and confusion and
that rift between. I think that rift between Natsuo and fucking Endeavor is just gonna get even larger now.
Yep. Yes, because he will try to find his brother back right now.
But Endeavor's about to die, bro.
That's my question. The thing is, Natsuo more or less coped with the abuse by studying medicine, which is more or less the opposite of what Darby did. So I wonder how he will react to Darby killing people.
What do you mean?
Like would he be willing to forgive Darby? Would he be willing to still look up to Darby if Darby continues on this path, or would he be very conflicted about this to the point where he can't actually look up to him anymore because he is now trained to become a medic, and this doesn't really jive with looking up to this murderer?
He'll be conflicted for sure.
Who's talking?
Yeah, he's gonna be conflicted for sure.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, the Johnny.
Wait. Yep, we got Johnny on that. All right, Johnny, this is your first stream on air. So, as is your first stream, you get the floor real quick to discuss some of your feelings and thoughts on the chapter.
Nothing special.
Wow, stop it.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, it was great. I just my thoughts are still kind of fresh, so I need to kind of like bounce off you guys, maybe.
Okay, let's talk. Let's get something out the way. Now, majority
Horikoshi
of us
loves
know,
drawing death.
Yeah,
because if you look back, there's a hand under a building.
That was, yeah, that was
let's get something out the way. Let's get the because majority rule of us agree. Now, is Endeavor dying? I know we know the majority rule agree because everybody was like when Dobby pulled up on Endeavor, he dying. But the minute this nigga actually,
why you let this nigga Johnny give his thoughts? What happened?
Wait,
No, he said he wanted to bounce off.
He said he wants because Johnny said he wants to bounce off us.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad. Forgive me.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm like, I thought the nigga was talking. I couldn't hear him. What I said, the hell?
I was
But
reading
thanks,
the
Dustin, for like standing up.
Of course, I'm always for the people, man. Fuck East.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
Whoa.
Dustin 2024.
Oh, damn.
Go ahead, East. Continue.
Yeah, goddamn. So everybody was in agreement. Endeavor's dying when Dobby gets there. Chapters and chapters ago to start his arc. Oh, when he get there, it's over with. Now that we've come, My Hero fans like to do this a lot. Now that we come face to face with the two people, it's, you know what? I think Endeavor should live, and they start changing their tune. And people do this a lot. I've seen too, because they even did it with Aizawa. It was like, okay, when he pulled up Shiraigo, they're gonna die in the lab. I was like, you know what? Take President Mike instead. And Aizawa was gonna die. Then when the time comes, like it was like, oh, he gonna die this arc. But then when the time comes and the character gets to said person who's supposed to kill them or whatnot, then it's like, oh, you know what? I think they can live because and then they start creating the whole narratives after that. And Devin's story is just about done after this. It's done.
He needs to die, nigga.
Explain to me, give me how Endeavor's getting out of this, because Dobby's not gonna be like, you know what? I just let you suffer a little bit.
Do you want me
Bro,
to
don't BG. Don't play devil's advocate, bro. You always play devil's advocate.
Let him play devil's advocate. Let him play devil's advocate.
The thing is, people always like with MHA, people always throw death flags way too quickly. Like you saw what happened with Hado last week.
Wait, they throwing death flags on death flags? What?
People were like convinced Hado is gonna die.
Pulling him out of thin air.
Nobody thought that. Nobody thought that.
I thought she might die because she's in danger, but not next chapter. I think it's potential for her to die though, just because she's there. That would be
following
to make it more real.
Like maybe she
go next chapter.
One last. What?
Oh no, I was just saying. So I wasn't going on the whole spiel. I was just saying. I was making a comment. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, sorry for interrupt. I would just want to say we just got 132 people on the stream. We need to upload to make an applause for people.
Nigga, we hit 133 earlier.
Yo, man.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, we get some highs here right now.
Shit, we out here. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Like the stream, guys.
But anyway, as I was saying, did you want me to play devil's advocate, or you want me to just
nigga? You want to play devil's advocate? Just play it.
I told you please do. I want to hear the justification.
The logic that I've heard on this is that they think that it's that Dobby's plan, as he mentioned before, was that he was going to kill Shoto, but now he's number one. It's just better to make him suffer more. So instead of killing him, he's just going to continue to fuck with his life and make it until of course it's gotten to the point where there's nothing else more I can do. So then I can kill you.
Also, this is 100%. That's where we at.
Okay.
They're never going to meet again after this. Like, what would be the point of having them after this? We literally been talking about we talked hours about how Endeavor dying will boost Shoto forward in his character development.
Exactly.
No, I'm curious on one thing you said though. You said they're never going to see each other again. Why do you say that?
I mean, if he survives, they can't see each other again.
Yeah. Okay. Put it like this: the same way y'all say that bitch ass bird nigga Hawks is safe because he can't go into combat anymore. And like I was like, okay.
Why you hate Hawks so much? Why you hate Hawks so much?
Yo, he killed twice.
I think I asked you this before too. I'll be forgetting. I think I asked you this.
And it's, I'm not even gonna get in the whole spiel. It's not that he killed him for the great good. I don't give a fuck about the great good. Like I said, y'all gonna try to fuck that nigga. I don't care about it. Oh, he did it for the greater good, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let's get back to the point.
Oh, we get two dislikes.
Yeah, just like I'll say, Hawks is like going nowhere in their battle. He's safe from now on. How will he interact with any other villain again in the future?
I mean,
It'll
you
be the
can
same way
adapt
for
with characters.
I don't think.
If Dobby doesn't kill Endeavor, he's going to cripple that nigga. Correct? He's not just going to be like,
Yeah.
huh, he just literally just said
Yeah.
this nigga like, oh, let's go tango in hell. What you gonna do? Like, I made a speech. Now I'm going to sit here and do nothing after that. So
I mean,
it's
there
like,
is an out on that one. There actually is an out on that one because of Genius.
no.
Right.
Also,
The thing is,
if he
my
cripples
point-
this, he gets saved and cripple this nigga. Where is Endeavor actually going to go to the battlefield ever again? He already got a lung puncher. Dobby
yeah,
will
but he
give him
doesn't
a
need
crippling
to
injury
be
he can't come
Dobby
back from.
strictly only on the battlefield.
If you don't kill Endeavor now, then he's not gonna die in the story. It's like it's no other. There's
Yeah.
no point.
That's I think.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that
That's a good
necessarily.
argument against that. I'll say.
I mean,
That's
he
like-
might still die after that, but this is.
Because
I
okay,
feel
so
like
here's
this is the perfect time to do that.
It wouldn't hit that hard.
this is
I
the perfect.
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Wait. Look.
No, it would hit, but it wouldn't hit as hard.
So here's the thing:
Yeah.
the only way you pull this off and you don't kill Endeavor here is if Makia gets there like within the next 15 seconds. They just don't have time to fight, and like Makia's already here, so like there's nothing to interrupt it, right? Like unless Makia goes, we should leave and just takes everyone. There's nothing to interrupt this fight.
No, Dobby needs
Yeah,
to
the
make
thing
a
is,
move
I
like right
think-
now.
I think there is.
That is going to happen.
I
What
think
if he
there are
kidnaps Shoto?
possibilities factually.
That's not
Like I've never said that as soon as Dobby is there, he's dead. I've always said that as long as Dobby is not there, he's safe. That's
Yeah.
what I always said. Like I never said that he's dead on the way because I never said that he's gonna die. Not because I don't believe it, but because I just don't want to say it.
And
And
it's
I
also
don't
a
wanna-
favorite
I
character.
don't want to
so-
put myself because I know that my opinion is biased in that sense anyway. And
I knew as soon as
the-
Dobby's there, it's over
the
for
thing is-
Endeavor. It's
the
over.
thing is,
for this
I
man.
do believe that there is an ending to Endeavor's character, which doesn't necessarily the character arc, which doesn't necessarily involve his death. Like I do think that you can neatly and maybe even for Endeavor personally end the character arc better with a crippling or a losing of his quirk. or
No,
whatever.
but you know why the reason
no,
it has to
let,
be
let,
here-
let me speak, please. Let me just finish this.
Ah, I thought you was about to wrap it up.
I want to
no,
comment.
no.
Let
I
her go.
just started. So I do think that it's absolutely possible to end his character arc on losing all this power that he's worked so hard for and sacrificed everything for and hurt everybody for, and having to live with that, and having to live with just that he's now weak. So I think that would actually probably wrap his character arc up better than just dying, because I always think dying is a kind of not a nice character wrap up. I do, however, think that for Shoto, dying might be more of a push to progress, which is why I
Oh
think.
my
And
god!
as
No,
well as
he
for
wouldn't
the, as
make
well as
that
for the
trade-off.
overall story.
So
Corey Coach
Let
wouldn't
me.
make that
I'm still
trade-off.
not quite.
Please let me know when I can go.
I
Anakin,
do,
Please let me
and
know.
I do think that there is possibility to survive, which is one of them just comes flying with the helicopter, and the other is All for One, who clearly wants Makia to just get away out of the battlefield. So there are possibilities. I don't know which is going to happen, and I'm not gonna say for sure this one way or the other is going to happen. But I don't think that. Like I don't want to fix myself on one side or the other.
I think right now we're gonna
I
have
have-
a fight Shoto versus Shoto versus Toya, because Endeavor right now can't even breathe.
I mean, Endeavor
Yeah.
said he's gonna fight,
Yeah.
so I assume that Endeavor is at least gonna try to do something.
He tried to do something, but
Yeah.
he can't breathe. He can't breathe. He's like, I'm breathing and I'm
Yeah, but he was
I think it's
also
gonna-
like, I'm gonna bring down this
And
big-"
Endeavor said that before he got the emotionally crippling blow that his son was still alive.
Yeah.
That he thought.
Oh,
Exactly.
no.
Like, he was
Oh,
running. He was
even
running on
before.
adrenaline at that
No.
point. He was
I
running
The
just
on
same
think
applies to
adrenaline at
Shoto.
that point.
Like,
He was running on adrenaline at that point. He was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I gotta do everything I gotta do plus ultra, I'll do it. That's for a villain. His
But look,
damn
the reason-
son that was
Oh,
dead
man.
just came back to life. Like, how the fuck you?
Guys, I just found thought about something. Imagine next chapter you get the fight between Endeavor and Dabi, because Dabi's flames are blue and also stronger, and Endeavor isn't like quite on his best right now. You have a scene where Endeavor will be like between flames of like flames around him, so he will say, "I can't breathe." Like George
Already
Floyd.
said that.
Yeah, but no, he said that
No, he means like the flames are taking away the oxygen.
the
yeah, no,
oxygen.
I know what he means.
But yeah, but like George Floyd, something like this. Oh man.
No, stop! Don't do that! Don't do that!
Okay,
But look,
no, stop,
but look,
stop,
look,
stop,
look,
stop.
look. The reason
Oh,
that
man.
Endeavor the reason Endeavor especially has to die now is because of what Dobby said in this chapter. Because we've been getting Endeavor's like path to atonement this whole time, but it's like Dobby, your only atonement, like with Dobby, because what happened to Dobby was permanent. Like that happened to his body. Like that's the reason why he was in the video with his whole body exposed. Like everything he went through, like Dobby has to live with that forever, and everything that happens to him has to live with that forever. So you thinking you can look forward to the future and just try to be this better person and try to do things a bit better way now because you can't fix the past. That's not going to atone. Your only atonement is facing your past, which is me, and you're gonna have to die for that. You're gonna have to die for what you did, even if you're in a better space now. Even if you realize what you did was wrong, you reap what you sow. It doesn't matter. That's what it happens it happens when you're on the other side of the hill and you realize that you're trying to grow. Like you still have to pay for what you did, even if you know it was wrong or you finally understood. He's dying. Like it's over for this nigga.
That's a strong point.
Hold on, because Johnny, you watch BoJack Horseman, right?
Yo,
greatest cartoon ever.
Okay, so for those of us who have watched BoJack, we remember the point of season 6, right? It does not matter if you've decided to be healthy. It does not matter if you decided to chase the right thing. It does not matter if after decades of fucking up, you finally get on track, because people got every right to come back for that pound of flesh.
Yep.
So,
no, I agree with that. However, I disagree with the sentiment that it is therefore entirely worthless. Like I think there's a thin line to go that goes from you can't undo this to going therefore the exchange the difference is worthless, because I do think that him becoming better is of worth, and not just for himself but also for his family. Like I do think, for example, Rey now is in a much better place than she was just 2 months ago.
Okay, when
simply because she now has the option to leave the hospital she didn't have before.
There's a slight misunderstanding. When I say that it doesn't matter, what I mean by is this: you can go ahead and do all the correct things, and yes, that is noble. Yes, that is brave. Yes, that is the right thing to do. Yes, you should still improve. You should do all of those things, but you cannot do any of those actions, any of those with the expectation of atonement, forgiveness, or acceptance.
No, of course.
And but we covered that. In Endeavor Agency. Right.
So like with Endeavor, like admitting that him, and like here's the thing, the way I see it is that if Endeavor were to live here, if he were to live here, the only way I see that happening is with a severe maiming, and then he's also forced to teach. I think there's already too many pro heroes in that bracket.
Thank you, Aniki.
I don't think
because we got Hawks, Mirko, and Eraser that are still going to be here more than likely. Yes, Roger, we are. Do you need the link?
My hero isn't BoJack Horseman.
Hey, that's perfect too. Thanks for having me. Because football about to start in 5 minutes. I'm gonna go watch football. But thanks for I had to come back this week, bro.
Because Rex tripping and he ain't got the clown suit, man.
Well, not even that. I told you I was gonna come back regardless, because when this reveal happened, I was definitely I had to be here. But thanks, bro. Hey, I'm happy too that you doing it. That all this hard work been paying off, bro. Because you've been grinding for a long time, and you really reaping the benefits, because you've been doing this shit like way long time. So good luck on you, bro. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that love.
Y'all be easy, man. Y'all have a good weekend.
Definitely, man. Be safe.
Peace.
Hey, Aniki, thank you, because you said exactly what I like to say. You said exactly what I like to say. It's too many damn people.
No, the thing is, I don't see Endeavor as later on teaching anything. I don't think every character that gets out of the fight injured therefore has to teach. Like, what if the injury is so bad?
I mean, there's a reason.
So crippling.
There's a reason for that for him, though.
Because
he's already a teacher. Like, there's a reason for that for him, though, because he already is a teacher. He's already. I'm talking not like I'm a professional teacher. I mean, he's already guiding the next generation already. So he can.
Yeah, but in a way, all the pro heroes are.
No, they do not.
Like they all got.
They all have insurance.
Mirko is not one of those. She will have to become one of those.
Mirko is an exception, okay. But
yeah, she doesn't teach.
My point is that saying Endeavor can't survive that doesn't necessarily translate to therefore he will be a teacher and we have too many teachers. Like, what if a severe maiming is losing his quirk, then overheating and getting a massive stroke afterwards, being barely able to stand? He can't teach after that, at least not until he is also into retirement age, and then he can retire and just
here's the thing. My explanation for that would be is that if if Endeavor, because looking at the top 10 real quick, Crust died, We got Dead Crust. More than likely, Yoremusha's dead. More than likely, Wash is dead.
Why would Musha gotta be dead?
Oh, no, not more than likely. Wash is definitely dead.
Musha was.
We on that.
He's at the mansion. Why
wait, guys. Ryukyu is injured. Like, depending on how her hands are, she might not actually be able to be a hero anymore. Mirko and Hawks are disgustingly crippled to a point where they shouldn't be able to Hawks might not even have wings anymore.
Hawks won't be back.
Headshot, no idea.
He'll be back. He'll be back in a fucking wheelchair, nigga. He ain't
so if Edshot dies, if Edshot dies, Genus is probably going to die doing this last stand. You would have half the top 10 being injured and the other half dead.
So I want to interject.
Hey,
real
Wash
quick.
still alive. Wash still alive.
Guys, let Roger speak.
Popping in it.
He just got in now. I was gonna do the intro for Roger, but what up, Roger? Welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Just finished my live reaction. I did it on Twitch. I'm uploading it to my VOD channel right now. First off, wow. So the thing was, I saw Dabi trended a couple days ago. The name Dabi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Went in knowing I'm like, bro, this is the chapter. This is it. Like, this is the Todoroki chapter. Because
I saw not Dabi but Toya trending, which was
exactly. Oh, I didn't see Toya trending, but I saw the name Dabi trending.
I saw the both.
Oh, you saw them both.
I got spoiled 2 hours before the chapter
that's a spoiler right there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like one could have assumed if you've been reading weekly and you see the last chapter ended with Todoroki, with Shoto, and with Endeavor, and they're all there, you're like, it's happening. It's happening. I'm sitting there like, all right, give me the moment. And it's still over-delivered. I feel like his whole speech to Endeavor, like the playfulness of it, the way that it was like put and paired with that thing with Can't You See Kid watching it on the computer and Todoroki's mom watching on the computer. I mean, genius. And now we're going to finally get to see this fight. I honestly feel like Endeavor could die in this moment. I've seen some people saying in my live chat that they think Endeavor's going to jail. I'm like, there's no chance of that whatsoever.
Not going to jail.
No way. He's not going to jail. Like, what, this villain shows up and is suddenly like, oh yeah, I'm the abused kid of this guy. Oh, by the way, I've killed 30 people. Anyway, throw my dad in prison? No, obviously they'd be going after Tommy. But at the same time.
But there's going to be an investigation.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I do think that's something I find really interesting. I do believe that for the most part, Endeavor might have acted within a legal gray zone. Like, the one thing we know is that the quirk marriage was allowed when it happened. That is the only thing we know for sure, that this part was legal.
I do feel like at the very least, though, Endeavor at the very least has fallen from grace now. Like, there's no coming back from this. The fact that Dabi chose to do all of this over a broadcast video while he was talking to them, I thought was brilliant. Now we know why Skeptic was there. It was just so good. I positively loved this chapter.
I got something to say about the Endeavor getting crippled thing.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
And the thing is, right, up till since Pro Hero, Endeavor has been atoning whenever he's had progression. He's used his power and strength to accompany it, right?
No.
Like in against the Nomu, against High End, and against Ending, to protect his son.
Yeah.
And now he's not gonna have that.
Right.
And that's where Dabi is gonna really affect his development, but I don't think he's gonna halt it or kill him outright.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm not Team Endeavor's got to die, but I think you need Endeavor to. Well, I'm going to say it like this: I am not Team Endeavor's going to die because I believe personally that his story's not done yet. I think him just hitting rock bottom after the character development we had already would just be kind of strange for him to be taken out like this with no real repercussions of what he's done. I feel like he needs to face everything that's happened. Understand that his other son is alive. We still need to find out how Dabi ended up the way that he did. This also, by the way, explains that chapter that I absolutely did not like, that you guys know I went off about during that stream where I was like, My Hero Academia is kind of mid right now, when we got that blacked out panel with Hawks and Dabi.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. Why are they doing this?
Wait.
Now we get it.
Roger. So I don't know if you saw it, but I tweeted out something that was really cool. Chapter 67 is the first chapter you meet Dabi in.
Right.
Chapter 167 is the end of remedial course arc.
Right.
where Shoto and Endeavor are
shit.
doing the little
Right,
talking.
right.
Chapter 267
way.
is where the black speech bubble is dropped.
Yep.
So
also, apparently, this was 100 chapters since some other big moment for Dabi as well. It
yes,
was like,
Pro Hero
Yeah,
arc.
yeah, 190.
Yeah.
It's when he pulled up to Endeavor.
Horikoshi's pulling some Odas with those chapter landmarks.
We should look that up. Like check 100 chapter
Check
differences
all the
between big
chapters.
moments.
Yeah, honestly, you should.
Like there are probably more of these.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, there
I'm
are.
sure.
There definitely are.
I mean,
I
the
just-
next Tetsu big moment is 200 chapters away. It'll be in chapter like 400 something.
There you go.
So
Also, I want to say about
Sato is getting his
Johnny
arc
just
in
said
100
with
chapters.
I want
with
to go
the
now.
Endeavor having most of his big redemption arc through his power, which is definitely a thing. Like if you like the big redemption arc for Endeavor was Pro Hero, which is not at all a redemption arc. It's just a fight.
Right.
It's
Right,
nothing
right,
to do
right,
with
right.
any of the Todoroki ship. It's just a fight. So, and it was later on actually said that he did a great thing as a hero. He always was a good hero in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
changed
but it's
nothing
also
about his relationship to his children or the horrific things he's done to his family. Changed nothing about that. Made nothing better.
well, yeah, but it's also
there
meant
was
to-
the
well,
chapter
but
at
it's
the
also
end.
it's also meant to be like the official start of him as a number one, and also the official start to him trying to be a better person.
Yes, but the
Right,
thing is,
right.
so far, a lot of his redemption was very much paralleled by him wanting to be this great hero. But it would be actually cool to see him have to focus his whatever atonement he can still do on his private life and not being a hero, because he actually has little to redeem in terms of his hero works, because his hero work has always been okay.
I'm not gonna lie though, I don't really see what else he really should do, because he's already pretty much, because at the end of the day, he did his final little thing for his family, which was, what is it? He made them that new fucking house, and to punish himself, he was never going to move in there. It was going to be them, and they could all be a family together. But he would have to punish himself. He's separating himself from them, so he can't enjoy his family.
But is it his final thing? Like we know for a fact that Fuyumi wants to connect with his father. We know that Shoto is looking forward to whatever his father can become.
Hold up, he's been trying to talk for a long time.
Yeah, I've been letting y'all go and get your points out. I'm gonna ask one question. Everybody just answer yes or no. No whole details. It's the first part. Will there be a time skip in My Hero Academia? Yes or no? Simple as that.
Yes.
That's the first
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
We can argue about how long, but
We already got one.
Guys, you are cutting off East. Stop. Let East talk.
Whoa. That was the first question. Now, all agreements that going forward that what was the entire point people complained about My Hero? There wasn't enough action, or the kids weren't always in action, correct? Because they need their license, because they couldn't have heroes being incompetent and kids keep having overhaul type of arcs beats, right? The point of the time skip is also to age the kids up so they're in the forefront of the battle. The entire point of the time skip is to bring all the kids from 1A and 1B forward to have these storylines and better storylines. People are too focused on Endeavor. He's already had his time in the sun. It's time for Shoto. How many complaints did we had about Shoto? It's time to push his narrative forward. I keep hearing all this about Endeavor this, Endeavor that. What about Shoto? He's definitely been in the background and just been shut it out entirely. Like he's one of the main cast members. Endeavor came in later on as a big prominent part, but his time in the shine is over. Once I heard about Shoto's future after this. It's all been Endeavor. It's all been his time. It's all been this, that, and the other. All about Endeavor, what he can do, this, that, and other. I have not once heard about Shoto after this. Am I right or wrong? I haven't heard y'all bring up Shoto.
No, I think the reason
I did mention that Shoto's development is the one reason why dying would make sense.
My stance is that I think this is something I've been saying for a lot of time. I saw a lot of people saying, Shoto might have to die in this arc. No, he doesn't. That's bullshit.
No, not Shoto.
Yeah, there's no
Okay,
way.
guys, I would like just to say something.
Let me finish.
I just want to say something about Rex. He just answered me and said that he's getting ready for his
putting his makeup on.
He's putting his makeup on.
Oh man, getting ready for my interview with John later. I'm prepping questions and such. So he said that he'll come. We're just waiting for him. Right?
All right. On a quick point.
Right.
You know what?
Anyway,
talking about Todoroki.
Wait, let BG finish.
Yeah. But so my whole thing has been that none of the kids are gonna die. None of them kids. That's why people are talking about Shoto or Bakugo dying was stupid, because I'm like, no, the whole point of this is the hero's last hurrah. then after this is the part of the story where the students are taking more of the leading role in the fucking like in the world. So to me, it would not make any sense for
I completely agree
Endeavor
with
to still be in the forefront.
And I think the main reason we haven't been talking about Shoto, at least for me personally, is because like I know he's going to get more development in the future. You know what I mean? It's like I know the kids are going to come to the forefront at some point. So to me, it's not like a question of, oh, does he have to have this giant moment to shine here? No, he doesn't. I mean, he came in, he helped save his friends. Now he's meeting his brother again. It's like, that's good. Those are enough moments for Shoto, considering how packed this arc is, right? I mean, this is like the Marineford of My Hero Academia. This is all the characters coming together. I don't think he necessarily needs more during these moments. I think the reason people are talking about Endeavor is because of the argument that was brought up earlier that like, you know, where is Endeavor going to go from here? I think this is the end of the line for Endeavor. I think from here on outwards, whether he dies or lives or whatever, he's a background character.
So he's not going to be number one hero. That one thing is clear. After this arc, Endeavor is not going to be the number one or any kind of hero.
Well, he
might have like an arc here and there, but aside from that.
So here's the thing. The one thing I will say is that like for teacher Endeavor, like Endeavor getting to sit around and like be in the story for a while, the only way that works and like Endeavor has like a good arc or a good finish is if like this current combat situation gets interrupted, but then two is if Endeavor, while maimed, basically has like one of those, he's at the old Todoroki estate and you get like a big fight there, and in between like that fight between him and like Dabi or Toya or whatever you want to call him now, he still has his villain name. nobody calls Shigaraki Tenko like that, so you know, I don't know why we all want to jump on the Toya train. But,
exactly. Christy be doing that East.
That'd be Lucky's then.
What are you guys saying? You're gonna call him Toya from here on out?
He wants to be called Toya.
I'm gonna start calling him Spinner Raphael.
Oh, he's
that name
sure.
is too rough.
We got to make a song for him. We got to make a song for him.
So, like, there's already a rap song that exists where in the chorus it says, "My name is Dabi, catching bodies is my hobby." So, like, we can't get rid of that.
You can't change it. That's too funny. No pun intended.
So like, wait, East. So, if you get that final estate battle, then you kind of get like the opportunity, because like if we don't get the flashback for Toya Todoroki, even though I think the next 3-4 chapters are going to be like Toya Todoroki origin. Toya Todoroki Origin 2, Dabi Origin, like the same way we got the Shigaraki review structure.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to know. Are you thinking? Are you expecting a Toya Todoroki Origin chapter this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's a flashback or like
pieces
of a flashback, but we definitely get a bit. I would expect it.
I think 1 or 2 chapters, not like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. No Origin chapters that long.
Even in even with Shigaraki Tomura Origin, it didn't last like a full like the 3rd chapter of that flashback wasn't a full chapter.
Yeah, for the most part,
but that entire arc was like just about that. That was like the point of the arc. And with Dabi here, I think that would like hurt the pacing a bit.
I don't think it would, because especially because it's something that the entire fan base has waited for years. I don't think nobody would.
I think that was the thing, right? There were a lot of people in my live chat even saying beforehand, like, oh, you know, no spoilers. I'm like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out if it's a Dabi named chapter, what's going to happen during this chapter.
Oh, wait, Roger. Okay, Roger.
So check this out. It wasn't even a debate to me.
This is how I got spoiled, Roger. Vocal Pineapple liked 2 of my tweets from 2019.
Oh, no.
That specifically, we're talking about Dabi, how in his first, like one of the first panels you see him, he's standing outside of a beauty salon, but like there's a speech bubble covering up the name that it says like beauty or whatever. But when you actually get to see in the anime, like you can just see like he's outside of a beauty salon buying hair dye is essentially like the assumption. Sweet. And so like I had tweeted that out, and then it was like Wednesday night, and then I look and it's like Vocal Pineapple like 2 of your tweets.
Man.
Oh. Well, I know what happened this chapter.
I got spoiled.
Did you guess at that point that he bought like the most magical hair dye remover, whatever you call it?
Oh, that he poured on his head?
It's just shoop gone.
Hey, look, man, they in the future. So I mean, and that was no regular water bottle, by the way. That was obviously something else. You could tell like what a regular water bottle looked like.
Wait, so does that mean?
No, but it was something.
It's literally like a canteen or something too. It's just a lotion that I'm pretty sure he used.
Well, like you said, it was probably.
Does that mean Dabi hasn't showered for like what 4 years?
No,
No,
he would have fought and re-dyed his hair, I guess.
You can tell that he's doing like he specifically bought this bottle. That's why they like Horikoshi even made it a point to emphasize the shaking because you got to shake up.
Sure.
No, he took Skeptic's shampoo because that man's
That's what I was
hair.
saying. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
Man.
Hey,
Silky smooth.
Oh man.
Okay, but back to the point of Endeavor. Like I said though, like Ian said it perfectly, and I keep saying this because Ian was spot on with this. Equivalent exchange. Y'all not gonna keep running around with these prominent heroes getting like scraped by the grace of God, saved by grace of God, and then we lost twice on our side. Gran Torino damn sure on the level of twice. Dan Torino and we ain't lost nobody on the hero side that's on the level of twice in the equivalence of heart and writing. So somebody got to go. I mean, last person on this damn field is Endeavor at the current level of writing that was equal to twice.
Well, yeah,
that's the only person because at the match ain't nobody else in that equivalence that's in that fight with Redestro and them that's on the level of twice.
I mean,
for the heroes,
it's also directly stated that Endeavor is like the heart of the league. I mean, not
right,
league, but the
quality over quantity because like more heroes died, definitely,
yes.
But like no heroes as important as twice.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's true.
So we like Ian said, equivalent exchange, a body for a body, because
I mean, technically, heroes have more losses in terms of
I'm not trying
power. That's definitely even among like the known characters, like the people that are crippled that are not going to be heroes in terms of power, like Hawks and Mirko. They are out in terms of being heroes. They're not heroes.
Listen. If your partner gets into an accident and gets crippled, your partner's still alive. But if they die, they're gone forever. So, AKA somebody got to go on the hero side that's equal to twice. It's not about it just because they cripple and they can't be a hero doesn't mean they gone though. You can still look at your person.
So one of the things that you got to factor in is like you're looking for purely like your own emotional hit here.
No, I said that.
No, not you say it. I'm talking about East. And in this particular, like with twice. In this particular instance, objectively, the heroes have lost way more than the villains.
Right. Oh, easily. Yeah.
Like it isn't like military power wise, Endeavor getting maimed, losing his quirk or anything like that puts them on equal loss of military power.
Yep.
But I think
that's before also factoring in that they lost a bunch of innocents.
I would say that Endeavor is a worse loss than twice. Endeavor, Hawks, Mirko is the worst.
Military wise, power wise, no.
We'll only really feel that.
Besides it being twice himself, like a narrative factor, like that's.
All right, do I need to go back to the raised hand system for this stream because y'all keep cutting each other off to a degree that's like wild. Do we got to go back to the hand raising?
Yeah, let's go back to school.
Oh man, we get almost 140 viewers right now. Damn.
Hey, excellent.
Damn.
Did you hit 1,000 yet, by the way?
I did not hit 1,000 yet.
Okay, you're hitting 1,000 this week. It was funny because Mass Manga Man or whatever, like I've never met him before we were setting up for that stream, but everyone is saying he's a really good manga YouTuber. So I hit him up and he was like, yeah, I'm about to hit 100,000. And then Aniki, I know you're really close. I'm like, this Tuesday stream, we are going to get everybody to all of their goals. Everybody's getting their goals. You're getting 1K on Tuesday. He's getting 100K on Tuesday. We're doing it. It is my goal for that stream to get all of you where you need to be, where you deserve to be. You are the most underrated My Hero Academia channel on YouTube. I don't subscribe to any other My Hero channels. I literally just got you on here. I look at the Church of MHA. I'm like, bro, it's time. Pass me that link. So we gotta get you your goal. We gotta get you your goal, man.
Thank you.
Wait. About the time skip thing that East mentioned earlier, I got a take on that.
Let's hear it.
There won't be any.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, like, you're all saying, like, they're going to be aged up and then they can go, hit the streets. Do they need that now? Because, like, the system's kind of, it's not really as tight as it would be.
Yeah, but I still think they need it.
I just wanted to say we already had.
Damn.
We already had.
Anzu.
Yeah.
You just cut me off,
Raise
bro.
hand.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
So,
I think there are too many like arcs that are. What? Oh, did I cut you off?
I said sorry again. I said sorry,
Look, because I do want to like touch on what you mentioned though, like with the fact that the system might not be here. One of the things that Neil's been talking about, and I'm actually a big proponent of, is that the Police Safety Commission might actually be part of the bad guys, quote unquote. And when you think back, the Police Safety Commission had them go from over 1,000 examinees to less than to 100 within like the provisional license exam under the guise they wanted to increase the quality of heroes, even though they had just lost All Might. And yeah, quantity doesn't beat quality, but you already had rising crime rates. So why would the police go ahead and advocate for less heroes? Even if in turn, like they eventually passed the program where everybody who was in the hero program would eventually go out and get an internship for the 4-month work study, specifically to offset the cost of war. But the thing is that still only comes down onto the Heroes Commission, not the police. So one of the things that might be happening here is that the police are trying to stratify and gain the power to use their quirks, and they're throwing the Hero Commission and the hero safety and the utilization of students.
I like that idea.
Under the water, under the bridge, under the bus.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And so the students might not be able to go out and actively be heroes anymore. Like the license thing might be dead. It might just be like, all right, once you're 18 and you legally have a license, you can operate and go out and do these things. But as a provisional license, as a middle schooler, as a high schooler, as a student, you do not have the ability to go out and do hero work anymore. That's going to be based on people who go get their conceal and carry permit, basically.
Vigilante season.
I don't think it would make sense to track the license thing for the kids who already have it. But I really like the idea of police just wanting to use the situation for their own gain.
Yeah, because we have this force that's built around liberation and freeing society and getting everybody to use their quirks how they want to. So it would only make sense if eventually you introduce an opposition, like a force that has like the exact opposite goal and has been trying to limit quirks in society throughout this whole time. It would also justify the continued existence of the meta liberation ideology into this time period if there was always like certain members of political parties consistently pushing to restrict quirks more.
Yeah, I wanted to make a joke. I was gonna make a joke about the fucking one of these comic book resource shit that they said, which was that there has to be some sort of force of people that don't have quirks.
What?
Yeah. That was on one of those
characters.
That was on one of those fucking articles. Or no, that wasn't it. It was a force of people on the police force.
Oh.
Like a force of heroes in the police force.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because they won't have an institution to.
Well, no, it was one of those situations of, y'all know what comic book resources is, right?
Yeah.
They had an article of like 5 things that one of those stupid ass articles they make, which is 5 things that do make sense, 5 things that don't make sense.
Oh.
And one of the things that they said that doesn't make sense is, why isn't there a group of heroes that work for the police force?
I think I read the same article.
Oh my god.
Sounds very, very.
Right.
And when you mentioned the police force, it made me think about that. Oh yeah, remember that stupid ass fucking article.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, well, are you expecting something like that to happen?
Like, the police not having their own secret force would seem kind of wild, and especially doesn't make sense contextually now, because we got the Hero Commission basically raising super soldiers, right? Like Hawks is effectively your typical super soldier program, like take them in, train their superpowers. They work for the government. You make them do things. They'll do the shady shit, and there's no glory in it. Like very typical, oh, you're a patriot kind of nonsense.
Easy Chorus.
So it makes zero sense though that the police themselves, even like just thinking about like what police do in our world, what police do in some countries like around the world in general, not just like in America, it makes zero sense for them not to be reaching for this power also, right?
I think it makes perfect sense due to the fact of how All Might perceives the police, which is the way the best way I can phrase it is the bitch ass niggas who can't actually be heroes, but they want to still help.
Like, okay, I don't think All Might didn't mean it like that when he's
really man. That was
the true English dub. That's the true English dub right there.
Basically meant it like that. I think
True
it
English dub.
makes perfect sense for the Meta Liberation Army, Meta Human Liberation Army, to have this pendant. I think the other side would, however, would be more fitting for this to be the Hero Association that is actively restricting the quirks and not so much the police force. I think the police force might, in that sense, be actually in opposition to the Hero Association more so than the Meta Liberation Army, because they would want this right to use their quirk for themselves, which I assume the Hero Association is kind of hogging for themselves at this point. I think there's a certain, like, a very, very thin line that Horikoshi would have to go, where he still has a Meta Human Liberation Army as enemy, as villains. Like, if you go too strong on the side of just restricting freedom, you get to a point where not only do you have villains that actually have justified beliefs, but also you might have villains that have maybe more justified beliefs than our heroes have. And with our heroes, I mean Deku and so he would have to go this very thin line. But I would really like it if there would be like this opposition between the Hero Association, the Meta Human Liberation Army, and the police, maybe more so in opposition to the Hero Association than the Liberation Army, actually.
Yeah, he's done it before with Gentle. Like, he's done a completely gray conflict. You don't know who to root for. Both have like.
I'm actually interested. You brought up Gentle. I'm curious. Do you think he's popping up again at any point in the near future, or do you just wait until the time's over?
I think La Brava definitely is. Gentle, maybe.
I'm gonna say this one. Horikoshi has set up that every single villain's probably going to make a re-return at one point.
Yeah.
If they're alive.
I don't know what the general consensus of the community was at the time, but I really enjoyed the Gentle arc more so than I think a lot of people.
I love it.
Many people didn't like it. Many people didn't like
the school festival being paired with this villain who's not really a villain. He's more kind of misunderstood. You have like the themes of love that were in there as well. I don't know. And then the fight, of course, with Deku, with the elasticity of the air and stuff was awesome.
At least in my memory,
exactly.
at least in my memory, the perception of that arc was the arc itself. Everybody hated it, but they liked the fight and they liked the concert.
Yeah,
that's the only thing people liked.
I remember. So I actually watched Roger's read-throughs because back then you were doing like
the full read-throughs.
It was me and Orphy were on that wave. We didn't like the arc. We just liked the fight in the concert. Until we did rereads.
But I remember watching and I was like, all right, cool. Like, somebody actually enjoys this art.
Yeah, I liked it.
I remember that I did not care much for the preparation of the sports festival. I didn't care much. Music culture festival.
I love
didn't care much about that, but everything was Gentle. I just loved it. Gentle and La Brava are awesome, and they are to this day, I think, my favorite villains.
I think you brought up a good point though. Was the fact that I was doing it as a read through, right? That's before I was caught up week to week, so I was like catching up to 15 something chapters at once. So when you binge it, it's a lot of fun. But I could totally understand why, like, if it was week to week, why people would be frustrated. I mean, I get that with One Piece all the time. It's like, all right, come on, we're ready. We don't need to get to chapter 1,000. You can get through each of the levels of the floor. You know what I mean?
Well, like, and that's the other thing. It is like, is that certain, like, with Culture Festival, I understand, especially like because I got caught up during right before Overhaul arc, so it's like read Overhaul week to week, which was a bunch of insanity. Then it's like remedial arc or whatever. You're like, okay, like we have a quick breather, 4 or 5 chapters. And then all of a sudden you got like a 15, 20 chapter arc that's mostly dedicated to wholesomeness. Sure. I do see like where if somebody got caught up during Overhaul or they got caught up right before Overhaul, they could be like, yo, where's the action? Because like I've just done like a year of like a bunch of action and stuff. And like this is a curveball. But
let's put it like this. It's the post Camino time period of My Hero, and this is essentially, as you said, we had a year of Overhaul. So you're like, man, this was hype. I can't wait to see what comes next. Then we get a mini arc, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. And then we get this, and it was a 14 chapter arc, so it wasn't really even that bad. But when you get into it, you're like, every fucking week you're sitting there like, okay, any minute now we're gonna get to that hype shit. And you just keep sitting there because you're just too conditioned for hype now.
Yeah. The further the story went along, the bigger the massive difference between the big hype and the more mundane school stuff was. You just had to go through the school stuff to get to the hype.
I was really happy because we saw students being students. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
have in the story,
Yes.
because there are students, they have like the hero things in their life, the school, but because what I was thinking at that moment is that the world is about to change. It's really hard for them, so they need these moments to be together, having fun. They're like 15-year-olds. You want to have your festival on school and everything.
Sure.
I was really waiting because I knew that this is going great right now. What's going to happening next is going to be really crushing, because these moments will be like their memories from great moments for their hope. That will be like the sign that if we work hard, we will get these moments back,
Right.
And it's what it happened, because even in the anime, how they put the concert and everything, I was crying when I was watching the concert, literally, because I was so moved, because I knew that these were the last moments to having fun in this story overall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think like the Gentle arc is like the most MHA arc of MHA.
Exactly.
It's like it's got everything. It's got the society with Gentle, right? It's got the students. It's got the cool like genius 1 second moves with the Air Force.
Yes.
Right. It's got positive growth with Deku and Eri.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything.
Oh, it's beautiful to hear about this. Damn, man. Because right now, where the story is going right now, we just have we get the Dabby thing, so we'll have some origins. I don't know how many chapters we are thinking too about it, but right now, what the ending of this arc is, it is the end of this year. Next year, I don't know what we will get, but what I'm wanting for right now, I just want to, like Aniki said, about the whole politic thing, about how they will use quirks and how people will react to it, because we get an example from people they want to be free, and you said some time ago is that people will be maybe the government will say you can use your own quirk to defend yourself, like having the 11th Amendment. Like, if something like this happens, what will be the consequences for the country? That's the question. And it is a time where students, like what we see, because the student that we see right now in the story, the parents will say, no, you can't be a hero anymore. After what we're seeing right now, that you're dealing with right now, you can't. I don't want my child to be out there fighting this monster walking and wolves of all scene.
Like, the thing is, we have an example of, with our world, what happens when, like, when that will happen.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Like, school quirking.
Oh,
stuff like that.
The way you said that. Okay.
School quirking. That's the way you're describing it.
He's basically saying, what if someone Sandy hooks with their quirk?
No, I get it. I wasn't expecting school quirking. That's
shooting. So school shooting.
Yeah. School quirking.
That's meta.
That is meta.
And I think that is actually a good point, though, because like if you think back to Encounter, that's kind of what Shigaraki was bringing up. He was like, yo, like y'all go to this school, like y'all go to the mall, y'all sit around here, you chill, and at any point, anybody here could just pop off.
Sure.
That's true.
How does this make sense to you?
But that's definitely something that was always there, but you always had to wonder how this works with all these kids that have essentially just running around with bombs, basically, right?
But not everybody has bombs. The thing is, people like Todoroki, if they pop off in this,
if they pop.
Here's the thing.
All school is done.
Is that when you look at the way some of these kids were, especially the ones from Remedial Course Arc, we were a couple years away from the school quirk being an everyday thing.
That's true. That is true.
Bro, if Bakugo hadn't mentored that one kid, I don't know. Like, he would rule that school.
We don't know the quirk of that one kid, which is odd because he's essentially a nerd with, as far as we know, no quirk.
And I think that he's quirkless. Well, I think that he's quirkless. He's just a guy with some just that he just have like a really good sense to control people. Because we never saw the quirk of this child. That's the thing about it. He never
the other
saw
thing,
this.
Bonzu, the other thing about that is like if you think back to his internal monologues,
yes,
is that he only talks about how he can play the piano better than adults. He doesn't mention anything to do with his quirk, unlike everybody else.
Yes,
which is something that kind of I thought was quite interesting, because we know Deku was bullied severely because he didn't have a quirk.
Yes.
And we also know in our world that like these nerdy, smart kids are often victims of bullies. So he's basically double prone to be a victim of bullying, yet he's a leader in this group.
Because they're all like 5, 6. They don't know who has a quirk and who hasn't hasn't developed theirs yet, right? Because not every kid launched an attack even, because not all of them, like, so some of them would be like possibly blooming late, right? But if he already had established his dominance by being the rich kid, because you can tell based by like how he's dressed, he's supposed to be like and my parents send me here to this private school. Kid.
Yeah, but then they are all rich kids if they are all in the same private school, right?
He might not even be at a private school. I should rephrase that. Like, he's at a public school, but he dresses like it's a private one, because everybody else is wearing normal clothes, and he's on as this dude at my job, William Thomas Tucker the Sixth, looking all spiffied up.
William Thomas Tucker the Sixth?
Yeah, I was like, all right, have a good night, William. And he's like, oh, actually, just call me Tommy. William Thomas Tucker the Sixth. And I was like, I think he just flexed on me as he was leaving, and I'm his boss. So I don't know how I feel about that.
That's like me pulling my real name on people. I'm like, oh yeah, don't call me Roger from Rogers Base. Call me Registro Antonio DiLuigi III. There you go.
Yeah, like, what? So yeah, like, I think he had already established his dominance, though.
Sure.
So he's kind of like a Lex Luthor amongst a bunch of like superpowered villains at that point, except they're kids. That's kind of where he was at. Which in like
what is that profile picture?
I don't know. I remember that when I was a child and the first kid walked up to me and had like 7 names. I just thought it was ridiculous. I didn't really think it was pretty cool.
Are you talking about that? Are you talking about that tweet I put in there? The fucking Johnny.
Well, yeah, like, wow.
Ignore the profile picture. Just read the comments.
But the profile picture.
Ignore the profile picture.
What I was thinking when I was thinking about it, just like a spin on Deku's, like if Deku was a villain, people like this idea a lot.
Wait, I'm looking for this image. I can't find it.
Oh, it's in the Zoom.
Oh,
chat.
the Zoom. Okay, got it. Let me look at the Zoom chat. Hold on.
Hard.
Y'all should cherish the moments before you see this.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh no! Oh no!
Also, you were right to be alarmed by that profile picture.
Oh no!
Wait, why
Florian hasn't seen it yet. There it is.
Why is he naked?
Wait.
That's art. Love it.
That's not art. That's porn, bro. It's YouTube. You can't be showing porn like that on YouTube.
Whoa, they can't see
get
it on
demonetized.
They can't. Yeah.
That's why I'm not sharing my screen, thankfully.
I need an adult, man. This is wild.
Oh man.
Yes, Rex's time is coming. Rex promised us the clown suit. Don't forget, Rex did promise to wear the clown suit.
I want to
So hold on, I need a little bit of explanation because I just got in here.
Let me explain.
Did he make a bet or used that if he's not Todoroki, he'd wear a clown suit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me explain it. So like when we used to be on Dustin streams, he used to like when we were talking about like the toy reveal. Sure. He kept trying to be like, I don't know, man. What if it's not him? So we kept getting on him about it, and he was like, I'm just trying to say, y'all aren't considering the possibility. Y'all are just so set on it being him that like. So I was like, okay. So then Dustin eventually made him a bet with him. Is like, they said they wanted to make a bet about it. So then he said that if he is Toya, then you have to wear a clown suit. And that's been a thing for about a year? Has it been a year or two?
It's been 2 years.
It has been so long that I think back then it was actually just a theory. Like it was a fairly well substantiated theory, but it was still at the point where you could reasonably deny it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
okay.
he was so
No.
stubborn and didn't change his opinion once in this year.
In Forest training,
I feel like the second you saw the fire, you could have made some assumption.
In Forest training, I think you could argue that it might not be Toya. But at Pro Hero, that's where it's too obvious to me.
Yeah.
Because at that point, that's where I say it is obvious because the fact is they obscured Endeavor's vision. They obscured his vision so he couldn't see Dabi clearly. Yes. There is literally no other reason you do that unless, of course, the person could see clearly, he would recognize who it is.
Yes.
So I could not think of any other reason.
There's that one panel where he's looking straight at him, but it's like obscured.
No,
so
that's it is like blurred. It's more blurred.
Yeah, he doesn't have great eyesight because he's so tired and one of his eyes is gone.
Exactly. So like, if they wouldn't have done that, you could argue, and he was just looking directly at him. You could argue he's not Toya. But the fact that they intentionally fucked up his vision so he couldn't see, is like, there's no other explanation.
No, but the actual like evidence from the text it's minimal. There isn't that many.
Yeah, no. Okay, so
but I mean,
no.
I was gonna say the blue fire. I think was a pretty.
That was anime. That's anime.
That's an anime thing.
That's anime. But there's a line that he does have that kind of just backs up the anime's thing though, which is where he says that his flames were hotter than his.
So well, I think. I think it is.
I just want to throw one other thing in real quick because I noticed it in this chapter too, where he mentions that my flame is your flame. And obviously, that's because they are related. But I did wonder if maybe there was more to that because we still don't officially know what his quirk is, do we? Like we don't.
It doesn't have a name.
I know everyone fan calls it cremation or whatever. But who's to say that maybe he was the correct experiment? He just got only Endeavor's power, and that's why Endeavor was like, "All right, whatever, you're a joke. Like I want both powers." That's the
that wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem.
That's what he said. That's
the problem.
The problem in terms of being able to handle.
The problem with Dabi is the fact that he has hotter flames than Endeavor, so he has more powerful flames than him. But he gained his mother's constitution, so his body can't keep up with that power.
Gotcha. All right, that makes more sense to me. So excellent.
Hey, what did y'all say something about the flames not being blue? Who said that?
We said that was the flames being blue was an anime. Was an anime. They actually are blue, but in the manga,
they are blue.
But they weren't blue. I don't think they were blue when they first came up, though. I think they were black when they first came up. Like they were actually intended to be black, but the anime showed them as blue, and Horikoshi was like, okay, let's go with that consistency. I think that's what I heard.
Now I want to look back at the Forest training.
I
would be curious.
I
remember when Pro Hero happened, somebody posted like some side by sides, and they said the flames were drawn a little differently after the anime.
You don't think it might have just been because the Forest of Dark?
No. That was a theory they gave. That it was probably just him just trying to go with the anime, kind of like with the hair shit. But what Sayas was talking, Sayas was taking. Go ahead, Sayas.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I think at that point when he appeared in Pro Hero, you could probably still deny it. The moment when you could not deny it anymore, I think, is when a few chapters afterwards we get the little information about this other brother that we have that is Toya, that whatever happened with him, and then later on during a joint training arc when we had this small flashback where we were talking about Toya's actual powers, that he had fire powers that were stronger than Endeavor's, but that he had this weak constitution. That is the point where I think there's too much evidence there to deny it.
Right.
So every time that he uses his quirk, he's burning himself.
I just look back at it. There is not a different enough contrast between the way the fire was drawn during Forest training and Pro Hero art to really try to make that distinction. It's more over Horikoshi's art style just gets cleaner and more precise throughout the series.
Yeah.
I mean, I also would think that the anime would ask him what colors the flames have if they change the flame.
Yeah, but the anime is
I mean, the anime did do something stupid about that. Actually, remember with the that Endeavor scene?
Flames. Yeah, but that's a one-off. I don't think that they would just randomly decide what color the flames of character have. That is, I don't know. I think they would ask him.
Wait, and that begs the question: can Todoroki's flames get blue?
I don't think so because
no, I don't think so either.
I mean, Endeavors canonically can't. I don't think Shoto's can.
Yeah,
no, I think it can because it is just about his quirk is literally just controlling temperature. And
Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
then-
they can
harder
because-
flames or harder
No, I said-
flames.
That's what I'm
Yes?
saying. I don't think they can because of the fact that Endeavor can't make his flames blue. So
Yeah.
why
So-
Yeah, but what if like
hold on.
the only reason Endeavor can't is because he might die if he tries to. And then
So
Todoroki has the ice.
The ice squirt.
hold on. So there's a couple of things that we gotta just accept the fact that like the anime's consistency and Horikoshi's own consistency can be two kind of slightly different things here. Because when you look at there's the way that Endeavor's like normal fire attacks were originally drawn, then there's like the jet stuff where it seems to be like a caliber of flame above what he typically does, where he makes it a point to talk about how these are compressed, condensed, extra heated flames, where from a logic perspective, if you just keep raising the temperature of flames to a point that is significant and noticeable, the color naturally changes.
Can it
Where
just change when other chemicals burn?
it can also change when other chemicals are influenced, but the temperature has a big play on that too. So one of the things that you kind of got to factor in there, because also certain temperatures don't start burning until like certain chemicals and stuff don't burn until certain temperatures, which also leads to the influence of that. But
Florian's flexing the mug.
But the important thing
You
here,
can see it. He's flexing it.
Johnny, the important thing here is that even if Endeavor can occasionally hit up to blue flames or not, for the anime's sake and for keeping consistency, like knowing whose attack is whose and all that other stuff, it's very likely they would just keep the color coding the same way. Because you also have a joint training where it's straight up emphasized that the flames that Shoto is capable of producing exceeds the flames of Endeavor, which is something that All Might, being close to and having worked alongside Endeavor multiple times, should have some idea of like what that fire's impact would be like. We've never seen Endeavor, even while doing prominence burns, start causing cameras and stuff to short circuit. So I think like there's a certain level like that we kind of can say that maybe there's like some dipping in and out of the blue flame, but we won't know that for sure probably ever, unless Horikoshi makes a point to clear it up in the manga. Like, hey, yeah, these people are capped at certain temperatures, blah, blah, blah. We'd have to get like a Hunter x Hunter style breakdown on the firepower that they're dealing with in order to properly gauge this. So interesting topic, but I don't think there's an actual true blue answer.
I think eventually we'll get one, though,
I have to check something, just for the sake of.
I really like that pun.
Was that I was about to say, is that a pun?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god.
Okay, we get almost 100.
That was fire.
But
All right, somebody going?
really turned up the heat with that. That was great.
All
right, y'all.
I want to ask a serious question. Who do you think got more bread between Todoroki and Momo?
Who do you think has more money? Easy, Momo.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Momo.
They're rich.
Definitely
They're the richest.
Momo, yeah.
Momo got that oil baron money. They just got that
Todoroki has
public
no
servant money.
allowance. Todoroki got no allowance when he was a kid.
No, I'm talking about the family,
No,
not
he being like
Momo
that.
I
and
get you.
stuff.
I'm gonna be honest,
yeah.
where you started that, with the look that was on your face, I genuinely did not think you were going in the direction of who do you think has more bread? I thought you were going in the direction of who has more cake, Momo or Todoroki. And I was about to be like, excuse me?
No.
Answer's still Momo, but you know.
Oh man. No.
Also, one of the things that I really like about, like, we highlighted the difference between like Manic dancing atop a mountain as he's like coming down to kill someone, Toya, and Dabi sitting in the chair like he's releasing an R&B like video. Like, my body. Look at the way I've been hurt, baby. Like, there's a certain level of, like that's why. Remember, I always like joke about how like that sea-level intelligence doesn't really track.
It
Because
doesn't.
like the way Dabi like operates is clearly like Horikoshi gave us some of those stats so that like we wouldn't know too much about him.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, he's too big brain for him to be fucking like that.
Like he's actually more big brained than most of the Todoroki family that we've seen so far.
I am gonna say this though. I'm waiting for Giannis to make that fucking Actually, I was wrong. It's not Bakugo who's the time traveler. It's Dabi.
Oh my god.
Man, every MHA.
I saw this thread about this guy who was making a joke about Dabi being a time traveler. It was funny as hell. But yeah.
That tweet I got it bookmarked because that would be the ultimate win. But like, wow.
I've already seen like 2 threads about this already. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
See, now they're debating whether or not Dobby's hiding his cake behind his cloak. Way to go, Rocky.
Maybe. Well, you're welcome. This is I ask hard-hitting questions over here. That's it.
Wow.
See, I'm not normally able to join. I'm only able to join whenever there's a One Piece break week. If there's a One Piece break week, then I'm here. You know.
Yeah.
So I gotta
Oh,
say,
One Piece is on break?
in my head, I gotta bring it on in. You know what I mean?
Why is One Piece on
Cake is
break?
just OP. What the fuck?
Right, let me.
Would you say why does it have to be when it's only on break? Well, because I have priorities. Obviously, my main audience is
No,
still
why is One Piece on break?
Oda, of course.
Yeah, just Oda breaks.
Yeah.
Oda breaks.
Aniki,
Oh,
I have to.
okay.
Wait. Say something.
East.
I just checked it. I genuinely think that All Might and Endeavor never work together that much. Because during Sports Festival, All Might walks up to Endeavor and is like, "We haven't spoken for 10 years." So they didn't work together.
10 years.
You have like the Vigilantes thing where they fought a bunch of monsters together, but they didn't actually talk to each other.
Right. Come on, that's.
But they didn't talk to each other, and Vigilantes is canon. So like,
no.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I know that they know each other's powers.
So the answer, the thing about it is that Endeavor. No, it's not that they don't like each other. It's that Endeavor doesn't like All Might. All Might doesn't have.
Yeah, Endeavor doesn't like All Might.
All Might has zero issues
I'm pretty
with
sure that it's like.
What I really love about this relationship is how unaware All Might is of that. He's like, so, Endeavor, long time no see. Let's drink some tea.
All Might's an actual himbo.
Fuck you, American. He's always talking like.
Don't you think that like if Endeavor and All Might had like a remarkable partnership for even like the smallest period of time, Deck would like comment on it?
Oh no! When I say they fought together, I just mean like big shit happened and they happen to like end up near each other sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Just like a picture of like hero work.
It wasn't like they were like I had an agency together. No, that shit. No.
I really think like the first real team up was probably Kamino.
Like, yeah, that's probably the only premeditated team up they've ever had.
Yeah.
Like,
you get 100 likes on the video.
Hey,
that's
actually the first time we hit 100 during a stream.
I have to watch.
You never had 100 during a stream?
Not during a stream. No,
What?
like
Really?
usually it doesn't break 100 until later.
Don't you guys get some viewers though? Whenever you're doing it, you always get 100, 200.
We always break like 1K, then like we can hit all the way up to 100, but they don't drop the likes during the stream.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right now, I'm just fighting.
Watch the video.
I'm just reminding people to like the stream. Really,
I liked it the second I got here. Before I was even on the call, I was like,
you get 101 right now.
That's because you understand the algorithm. Hold on.
I understand the algorithm, of course.
Hold on.
The prodigal son has returned. Hello, everybody. What's going on?
Oh my!
I was just about to ask when is this coming?
I got the job.
You got the job?
You got the job.
Oh, great.
Did you get hired as a teacher? Wait, guys. I got an important question for Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get hired as a teacher at Clown University?
Yes, I did. Honk. I literally just got out. Enjoy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the job interview was in a circus.
Is he still here?
Yo, see, everybody's excited for you, Rex.
What's up, my name?
The chat just came on.
Oh yeah, okay.
Rex is
Because you haven't talked for like 30 minutes.
No, I was going to talk before, but they didn't hear me call Aniki. They didn't hear me calling Aniki's name, and then it says talk, and then I tried to talk, but they didn't hear me call Aniki's name before, so I was just waiting.
All right, East, what you trying to say?
Well, it's funny that Ian is damn near always the GOAT, because when you said to the point that I'm talking about the equivalent exchange because of my emotions, but I thought about the point that actually I'm not the one that thought about this idea. Ian brought it up first, primarily to that. So let me tell you what Ian said. He texted me what to say. He said,
you just ask Ian for your arguments.
No, he actually texted me.
Ian, can I copy your homework?
It's funny because he worked up enough. He said, I listened in a little bit, and I think Aniki misunderstands the emotional aspect. Because as a writer, you do have to balance what your audience is experiencing and feeling towards the character. So, for example, let's say Bakugo saved Deku's life off screen. Like we cut to Ochiko and then cut back and we see Bakugo being stabbed. and all we hear is, I can't believe Bakugo came up with the plan to save Deku and jumped in the way of him. Sure, technically Bakugo did something great, but we didn't see it. It's so it has less impact. Same with the Twice thing. Sure, technically a lot of people died off screen, but we don't know many of them, and we don't see many of them. So it's not going to hit as hard no matter how much you would attempt to frame it as a technicality. It doesn't really matter if not everyone likes Twice, not everyone likes Bakugo, but they are clearly endearing and likable characters in the fandom, and Hori is surely aware of that. But yeah,
but Endeavor's the same thing.
Wait, time out. Because I'm going to say that's an objectively false take. You do not have to keep it balanced between whether or not the fans of the bad guys and the fans of the good guys are happy. That's just false. From jump, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a lie. That is not something you are obligated to. Like, think about how many stories that like finish and like you're like, damn, sucks for the fucking bad guys. Like, GG, y'all lost. Like that does not have to be made as a balance. But also understanding that not appreciating casualties is not the same as objectively them not being there. Like, if you cared about the Pussycats, which you should have, because like, you know, we watched Ragdoll lose her quirk, we watched them like help train the kids, come back. They were like our segue into the Pro Hero arc. Yeah, like like all these vehicles, so like losing them should bother you. Losing Crust on screen, making it a point to sacrifice himself for Aizawa, who already struggles with survivor's guilt, should strike you. Like, the reality is, like, I would argue that the villains haven't lost it like as much as the heroes. We lost Midnight. Like Midnight's realistically dead. Yes. Like, people, the guy who
I do think that, but can you say it objectively?
Bro, Midnight fell from 50 feet in the air and broke a leg, and she got.
But she landed and she was fine. She didn't die.
She was not fine,
bro.
But she didn't die from the fall.
Bro, was alive the last time.
Why didn't she call back then?
Who were you talking about? I wasn't.
Why did Midnight not respond back to the kids one time?
Her thing could have been like
no. If her radio was already working, then that means she's nowhere near Shigaraki. Her radio didn't get blasted out.
They're not near the Shigaraki. All their comms work. Their comms work at the mansion. Nobody cut that out. So why didn't she reply back? Just like how Aniki said, goddamn old girl would have
Mandalay would have said something eventually, like, hey,
exactly. So I don't have a counter for that point. So give me a counter that she's somehow alive, because it's been a couple minutes now. And the niggas struggle with a 1v1 fight themselves. She had multiple villains surrounding her while she was injured.
You know what, East? This is not how I wanted to find out that Midnight.
You knew it in your heart. You knew it in your heart. It's okay. You knew it in your heart. But I'm gonna go quiet again. But I got something to say.
Man, I was with Mina
that flame
with
nigga. He gone. I respect Inji Todoroki as a character. Dan rereading made me love that nigga more, but he got to go. Y'all can have y'all stance how y'all want. He got to go.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead, argue your points, but he got to go.
The premise for why he like should stay is like flawed. That said, I'm very fine with like Endeavor dying here. I just don't think it's necessary, and I think that you can get a lot out of having that final Todoroki estate battle. But only if Endeavor's already main, because I kind of want to see him injured fight Dabi so that it's still like a fair fight. Sure. Even though because like Dabi's going to be taking like self-inflicted damage anyway. So you take Dabi, who's going to be burning himself alive anyway. Then you take Endeavor, or you could also have it where like the Todoroki is like NG dies here, the Todoroki estate is still there, and then eventually Shoto and then Dabi end up like there and have a big fight.
That'd be sick though. If we actually get in a fight.
Oh my god!
Because the estate is so cool, right?
Bro, like when the house burns down and like,
my god, that's gonna be so good.
Symbolic for like Endeavor's development being undone.
I never even considered the idea that we would have a fight on the actual estate, but you're totally right. The way that we've seen it, and the look of the estate itself, like we are probably going to get that in the future. Oh man,
it's like established that he is alone there.
That'd be so sick.
Todoroki estate is practically a fighting game stage.
It is really, it literally is.
It's just waiting to happen. He already had all his other children. Fuyumi was the only one who still lived there. Move out, so it's safe. More or less.
And two things.
I wanted to add to what Aniki initially said to your argument, East, that you took from Ian, that which I agree with everything he said about this argument being flawed in itself. I also wanted to add that even if we are talking about equally contributing emotional impact doesn't by itself work on the principle of equivalent exchange, meaning it doesn't need 2 deaths for the same emotional impact. You can also, like, a crippling can easily have a similar emotional impact to a death.
Yeah.
Like I said, I made my point. I don't have like much of a count. I could go. I have a point if I wanted to like talk about this further, but I understand what you're saying, but I've made my stance on, because I was already on a stance even before Twice died that this nigga Endeavor was getting capped next time him and Dobby met, because the line literally stated that don't go kicking a bucket until we meet again.
Yeah,
so I was and actually the whole fandom, the majority of the whole fandom was on that point. That point, regardless, and I don't see. So, and then people having, the only thing y'all got to me is Genius doing something to step in and aid them, because otherwise, somebody painting the picture that Dobby just finna let that nigga go, to me is not really fitting to what I see on his character so far. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think Dobby's gonna let him go. It's quite clear. I think that Dobby wants him dead.
Everybody's different interpretations, and people have different narratives on how he should go, this, that, and the other. Like I said, Ian had his point. He texted to me because he asked me to ask the question in the first place.
Mr. Bass, you wait your turn.
But
I'm raising my hand.
Oh, whoever got their hand raised, y'all.
we got Roger.
What's the point of the hand raising if you're just gonna shout it out?
I mean, you actually got to, because sometimes Anarchy don't see it.
No, it's all good. I was just gonna say that, not to derail the conversation, but you mentioned the thing with Best Genist, where obviously, like, you know, the plane's flying in now. Do you guys think Genist is going to die during this? Because it would be really weird to me for them to set up that Genist is dead, come back, and then instantly die again.
Like, it would be a weird running gag almost that, like, Genist dies in every encounter, but then he doesn't.
Yep, I have for myself, I have Genist in a way as the next #1 hero. Like, I don't think, I mean, he might die. He can die here. It's not really like he's safe.
Do you think there's still going to be heroes?
Wash
I do think that Best Genist is,
I don't even
of
know
all
what that
the
was.
heroes, the one that is most likely to get out of it unscathed.
Somebody also wanted to point out, I forgot who it was, sorry y'all, but they wanted to point out, they wanted to talk about Shigaraki using that spinal quirk, All For One using the spinal mutant quirk. I forgot what it's called.
Riveting stab?
Yeah, that shit OD.
Oh yeah, that's what they said. The fourth, I think Caleb said that's what the force activation quirk is actually called. So apparently the force activation quirk is actually not force activation. That's a combination, him combining multiple quirks.
Yeah. By the way, Caleb, like, he went all out with that name for that quirk.
He did a great job with the translation this week. I thought it was really good. The speech in Viz was really excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Dobby's dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any confusing ass fucking dialogue like the scans.
Exactly. Read the official release, everybody. All right,
I haven't read scans for like a year.
I gotta go take him out.
What happened?
Let Roger get his final words in.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I just gotta bounce because I gotta take the puppy out for a walk in a little bit. He was going crazy during the live reaction, so I gotta take him out. I'm dog sitting for the next week. Thank you for having me. Greatly appreciated, Aniki. Great talking to everybody, of course.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Fantastic chapter. I'll see you Tuesday. Absolutely. Best manga of the year stream. If you guys are looking forward to that, I'm sure Aniki will plead his case for My Hero Academia. The bracket is stacked. The votes were wild. I mean, people didn't know how seeding worked, apparently, because we took the seeds on voting. So basically what happened was preliminary. There were four series that got into the top 4 seeds. It was One Piece, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Demon Slayer. Attack on Titan was seed 1, One Piece was seed 2, My Hero was seed 3, and the Demon Slayer was seed 4. From there, we then figured out the seeding for the remainder of the series that are in there. And so the bracket, real quick, I could pull this up really quickly because I know I've got it open here. So people are curious.
Is it still up for voting?
No, the brackets are over. The voting's over. I actually don't have a vote in this because I saw people were asking me, oh, are you going to read all the series? I haven't read all the series, so I'm literally just there as the host. I'm the Ryan Seacrest of the whole thing, and everybody else is going to be voting on their series. I'm going to come through as a tiebreaker if there ends up being a tiebreaker. But the bracket right now, let me pull up top 16. No, I know people are going to get mad at me if I just, ride for Attack on Titan the whole way through, or My Hero Academia when it's going up, or even One Piece. All right, so here's the bracket here.
What do you mean even One Piece? Aren't you like?
Yes, Roger's a One Piece like YouTuber
I'm
technically.
a One Piece anime YouTuber, but I'm
technically.
Not really. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really like, especially this year, I've been more on the wave of Attack on Titan.
It's been a drought, right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a drought. But anyway, the top 16 right now, the matchups are Attack on Titan versus ReZero first round, Black Clover versus Berserk, Demon Slayer versus Haikyuu, Jujutsu Kaisen versus Vinland Saga, One Piece versus Boruto, Chainsaw Man versus Promised Neverland, My Hero Academia versus JoJo Leon, and One Punch Man versus Dr. Stone. And then there's a losers bracket with Spy Family versus what is this? Phantom Seer?
Yeah.
Kaiju number 8 versus Record Ragnarok, Kingdom versus Undead Unluck, and Burn the Witch versus Hell's Paradise. And so basically the winner of each of the or the loser of each of the winners brackets then goes on into the losers bracket to fight to make their way back up to winners bracket. It's going to be an absolutely wild stream. I know it's going to be a lot of fun.
I swear you just said Haikyuu versus Demon Slayer.
It is Haikyuu versus Demon Slayer first round.
I swear you just said Black Clover versus.
Well, it's not my.
Why would you do
seeding?
Why would you do Haikyuu like that? You know it's gonna get watched.
An automatic L.
No.
Why would you give Haikyuu automatic L?
I think knowing the people that are in the call, I think Haikyuu's gonna watch Demon Slayer first round.
Demon Slayer getting bounced out. It's not even getting the loser bracket. Get out of here.
Black Clover versus Berserk.
That's going to be
Berserk only put out 3 chapters this year, so whatever.
It's the old Berserk versus the new Berserk.
Well, no, so it's based on the chapters from 2020. So you have to go based on the chapters of 2020, not the series as a whole.
Yeah.
May I ask who's going to be in the call?
Who was that?
Sure, yeah. So the votes. Let me pull this up.
Put Hunter under. Put.
Hunter 0 chapters in?
Just, yeah.
So the
it's
10
still gonna
judges, win. The 10 judges are the Masked Man, Aniki, For Neverworld, Sunpatch 94, King Recon, Project Manga, King of Lightning, Chibi Reviews, Sensei, and Laz. Those are the 10.
Good,
and then I'm going to be the host. So it's
I'm
a
like,
good
because,
mix. It's not just a bunch of One Piece YouTubers. It's a good mix of people who enjoy everything. Yeah.
You put Clover in there.
That should be fun, man. Should be fun.
I haven't read the new One Piece chapter
If you put
yet.
Clover in there, I'm going to see. You're going to have somebody's going to be arguing with Neverworld for sure. If you put Clover
About
in there.
what? Black Clover?
Yes, if you put that
I'm
in
excited for it.
Someone's going to be fighting. Someone's going to be fighting.
Someone's going to be fighting. All right, y'all. Take care. Thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to Tuesday. All right. Bye, everybody. Get out of here.
Bye.
Come on.
Appreciate you coming through.
Also, like, I'm going to warn y'all right now, a lot of these first rounds are so clear for me that it's going to be like,
I'm not going to lie. You're going to have people fighting if you're arguing against a Jolian.
JoJolian is fucking mid. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna try
because while you're saying that, I know a lot of JoJo niggas. I'm not caught up with JoJo. I have no opinion, but a lot of JoJo niggas I know who are like falling head over heels for JoJolian.
Let me put it this
because
way.
they are JoJo fans.
I've read 38 chapters of JoJolian. It's garbage.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. The earlier parts of JoJolian, you either hate it or love it. It's the current ones that people are like gassing. The current ones are like apparently like they finally revealed the villain and shit. It's like super interesting apparently.
Like I've been reading, like I read like, so I'm like, this is like 3 years worth of content. How the fuck did this not get canceled? That's how I felt about JoJolian. Like it feels like I've been reading Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
Scooby-Doo.
It legitimately feels like I'm reading Scooby-Doo. Like not like, oh, like maybe no, like watch out Shaggy, watch out Scooby-Doo. Da, da, da. Yeah, like the classic, like it feels like that. Like, and I realized that some of the absurdity of JoJo's, I think it just like good job on Araki developing a fandom and like a fan base and like having them like enjoy his work. But I think the absurdity of JoJo is best in animated form because
I only watch the openings.
Because like the ridiculous poses, the over the top character designs, a lot of them just don't hit in manga form. Like
are you reading? Oh yeah, you're reading it in black and white too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big blow. I
read that shit. Because you're not gonna catch me reading JoJo. Like I read this shit in black and white because that's the original format of the medium.
Oh, I know.
So
I can see that.
I get it. It's more like I can't read JoJo in black and white. I've already tried reading part 5 in black and white. I can't do it. I read it in color. It's very easy to read color.
And because here's the thing, right? My thing is how you utilize your medium, whether it's the week-to-week format, the monthly format, whatever, is partially how I'm evaluating how good your manga is. And when the main way to read your manga is not the way you wrote your manga, huge strike against you right there.
Yeah.
I can see
I mean,
that.
I ain't gonna lie. That's how I feel about One Piece. I can't read that color either.
I'm back like all the way 100% now.
Oh shit, Rex
Where's
is
the
back.
suit? Where's the suit, bro?
What? That's next week.
No, it's better for next week because he'll be here the whole stream.
Yeah, I'll be here the whole. I'll be here. Yeah. I literally couldn't even be here that long in the beginning. So.
But now that we have you here, Rex.
Yes, sir.
Nobody cut him off to like make fun of him for saying, you know, what he said for all this time. I just want to real quick, like, actually give Rex the floor. Do not cut him off. Let him talk about how he felt about the chapter.
All right. So I have 2 takes. I have the least serious one, which is the chapter is a 1 out of 10, and Horikoshi is one of the worst writers in the world. He definitely could have did a better job because there's no way this shit makes sense. But then the objective like review is like a 10 out of 10. This is like perfect. Like everything down from like him not waiting a full week to like do the reveal off of like him revealing the name to like saying all the Todoroki's mother like just in the hospital bed and then her like coming to the realization as Toya to like Endeavor and Shoto to like us discovering that All For One is in fact using his quirks better than Shigaraki, and that's the reason why Shigaraki is even moving in the first place. Like it was a great chapter, and everybody out there, I just want y'all to know I knew 95% that it was Toya. It was that I got in an argument with Dustin, and I am the type of person that will double and triple down. I will keep digging my grave. I don't care. But the fact that you called me out, and the whole thing was, it's like I was like it's a possibility, you know. But it was like hell no, there's no possibilities. So for me to even have the possibility argument, I had to triple down, and I was like every week as more stuff kept coming out, I was like Jesus Christ. It's getting harder and harder to make a bullshit into why it's not Toya. I was at home pacing back and forth like, oh my, another week. Horikoshi just stop giving these idiots hits. Just wait till the reveal. And then when that black bubble panel came out, I was like, oh my god, that's just like 100% confirmation. I was like, just go ahead.
Meanwhile, you have stuck all the way to China already.
I was holding out.
You should have just bought the suit right then.
No.
I got a confession.
What's up?
What?
And I talked about it with Ian yesterday. I made a thread not too long ago where it's like why Dabi isn't Toya.
Oh shit.
Okay. Wait, no. Aniki said it was eye-opening. Okay, so don't get me on that.
There's a chance.
But like the thing with Ian is, right? Like we talked yesterday and he read the spoilers and I told him about the theory and he was like, interesting.
Good theory, buddy.
That's what he do to me all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like the whole premise of this, like kind of like the Hawks chapter literally put an end to like all of the like Dabi isn't Toya thing. Like it really did. Like once he did that, I was like, okay, so he's putting, because up until this point, Horikoshi had a way out. Like he had like back doors. Like I didn't really say it, but when that chapter happened, it was like, okay, I'm diving deep into this. But I was already too deep into the arguments myself to actually pull out. So
yeah, and I think we all noticed that at a certain point you didn't quite believe it yourself, but you just stuck up.
I swear we gave you an out though. I swear we gave you an out.
No, y'all gave me outs multiple times. Y'all say, yo, you could just come out clean. We don't have to do. And I was, but the thing is, I had to keep digging, like because like I already made the stance, and the big brain thing is if Horikoshi actually came out and was like, "Nah, this is a Nomu," holy shit, would I have come in here with a whole different speech?
That's true.
It would have been like it was high risk, high reward. Like it's easy to do the it's Toya, it's this is it's that. It's easy to do those theories because it's like right there. But when you go for the big moves, you either get big bucks or you get thrown out on the street. So it is what it is. I have my costume for next week.
I love Rex like owning it though. He was like, "Yeah, no, like I set myself up, and I just had to keep dealing with it."
Damn. I mean, the best would have been if you've come in and said, "He's still on Toya." Still on Toya. He's just a liar.
That would be Donald Trump's vision. Donald Trump style.
Stop the foreshadowing.
I can like picture him like begging Horikoshi personally to like, please don't let him beat Toya. Come on, man.
Rex out here sending fucking like mail to Horikoshi with a 5 slipped in the letter. Like.
It's just like Horikoshi got him blocked on Twitter.
No, he wouldn't.
Keeps DMing you.
He wouldn't beg. He would seriously say, "Dear Horikoshi, I know you fooled the entire kingdom, but please, the others just don't get it. Can you please come out clean and tell them the truth?"
Tell them the truth.
I love the fact that there's like a whole like story behind it though. It was like, well, I had to stick to it because I got into a fight with Dustin about it.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason. If it was anyone,
I keep my ideals.
Yeah, like if it was anyone, I keep my. It was any one of you guys, I would have conceded, but because it was Dustin, I had to be like, nah, I gotta triple down on this.
I'm mad that you weren't here when he was here.
Oh yeah.
He would have clowned the fuck out of you. It would have been arguing.
Yeah, but he would have never let Rex get that whole story out. So.
Yeah. He would have been like
Rex would have been like
off halfway through. Nah, nigga, shut up. You trash. I want you to clown through next week. We finna roll.
JJ, he said you still think All Might go into full power to Dadashigi. Actually, that when Jabesh Genius showed up, that was literally the person showing up right there. It was like obviously All Might's not showing up anymore because you got Best Genius. If All Might does show up, that'd be cool, and I still think that'd be great. But it is what it is.
So I'm surprised how little All Might had to do with this arc. Because I didn't think he would fight or anything, but I would think like they tried to take him hostage or something.
Something like I think something
that was before.
Come back.
Admittedly, that was before like the whole Shirakumu stretch of chapters where they like got clued into. They managed to get their preemptive strike in. So I thought like the villains were going to move to UA. That was like the popular opinion before Shirakumu.
Yeah, I agree.
I think All Might has to come into the story again, specifically because we started this arc. This year actually started off with the Aizawa All Might conversation on the bench about his depression. So like I don't think we can like that stuff needs to come back into play. So even if it's after this reveal, even if it's after, so like what we could easily get is like this Toya thing happens, this big like reveal, and then we transition it into like finally after this, because like now this is airing too. So just like Ray is watching this, Eri and All Might are watching the Toya speech right now.
Oh shit! Oh, you know what? All Might be now that Aizawa is like effectively quirkless. Or is he? Wait, yeah.
No, he still has at least one of his eyes.
He has one eye. He has one eye.
Okay.
Okay.
But like now that he's weakened, like that might be All Might's time to like repay him for that one conversation.
Oh yeah. Like that. Like that'll. So yeah. Like that has to kind of come into play too.
That was like.
So, I think he'll have to like sit there and explain to Eri like this is what happened. But as long as Eri's like the issue here that I have is like, what is All Might gonna do? Because he also, so like Charlie had tweeted out how Bakugo knows more about Endeavor's personal life than All Might does, and so like All Might constantly comparing Bakugo to Endeavor while Bakugo can take it the right way and just be like, oh, he's emphasizing like the power, like constantly being compared to somebody who he knows has done like that many terrible things can also be like kind of burdensome. And so it'll be kind of interesting to see how All Might feels about what he said to like Bakugo, various characters, and like how he's interpreted who Endeavor is as a person for so long. Because like we also mentioned earlier on the stream, he seems to have zero awareness that Endeavor genuinely didn't like him.
Yeah, the thing is, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say go say is, so yeah.
Yeah, which is really interesting is that, I mean, I actually raised my hand for something else. I'm going to say that later because that's a different topic, and I'm going to talk about this first. The interesting thing is that Endeavor actually spoke about this to All Might multiple times. I think he mentioned, for example, Shoto being his masterpiece right during the sports festival, and then he explained it again in more detail during the remedial course arc. Like, of course, he didn't go into detail with the abuse, but he did absolutely say things that should have made All Might a little bit aware that there's something really, really wrong going on. And I'm not quite sure how All Might listened to all that and how he interpreted that. Like, if he was completely ignorant, if he had some suspicions, or if he just thought masterpiece is just a weird word Angie likes to use for no apparent reason.
I mean, but like my thing is that I'm not really gonna like kill All Might right here, because if a lot of like parent, like especially a lot of parents that have kids that are into sports, like they will kind of like idolize them or like talk about them to other people, like the way that Endeavor talked about Shoto. They might have used the word masterpiece, but they'll generally talk about him that way, like, oh, he's gonna be this, he's a trophy, he's like basically a god, basically, and he's gonna go to the pros or blah 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 blah. So I mean, like, and All Might has a lot other things to worry about than what Endeavor is doing with his kids.
No, but I mean that I think Endeavor, if I remember the words correctly, he said something like, "That's the reason why I created him. He's my masterpiece," which was odd, and which All Might also realized that it's an odd wording that with created. I think he even said "it" in the English translation. I'm not quite sure though.
Well, I mean, but
and then during remedial course arc, he would tell him like, "I pushed all my ambitions on Shoto." Again, something which, for All Might, if he would have listened, is something should have made him. Like, I don't say that he must have noticed, but I'm curious to see like how he interpreted all of that. If he interpreted in a way that is more euphemistic.
Yeah, like the way I looked at it was like if somebody, like, let's say this person wanted to be a doctor, but could never be like a top surgeon or something. Then their kid is shaping up to be that top surgeon, and you pushed them this far. He's like, well, I've pushed everything on them. Like, I'll train them, and maybe they don't really want to be a doctor, but they did it because I pushed them. You know, so it's a normal parent thing, but amplified by quirks. That's the way I looked at it.
It's something where
it's like everything in a society. It's like normal, but amplified by the fact that quirks are a thing.
It's something where once I've read like a really disturbingly good and also somewhat embarrassing comparison. That is that Endeavor is essentially like the male hero version of a stage mom.
Yeah.
Oof.
Right? I mean,
a stage mom.
Like a parent, a mother that would like put her little kid out to, I don't know, beauty contests and whatever, and just dress them up nice. Essentially, it's that, right? I mean,
it's basically Shoto.
I mean, imagine if that stage mom like manipulated her kid into having like an eating disorder.
Which they do.
Yeah, I mean that's like
then maybe
with many stage moms, it's often like they had that dream of becoming famous and they couldn't get it, so they push all that on their child and push it out to achieve that, and the child just has to deal with all its stress and it doesn't really
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, like the stage mom culture is like a perfect way to describe what happens with like hero society, where it's like you better be the best hero ever. Yeah, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is still a child.
Yeah.
And like you strip that. So like you look at like Dabi as like peak stage mom culture. Now that you forced me to go to all these pageants, I'm now gonna go do a school of quirking. But then like
it's gonna become a thing. That's my legacy.
then you swap that out for, you know, like Dobby or like for Shoto, who's like, I'm gonna do everything you want me to do, but I'm gonna be mad about it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what I love about the word school quirking is that if you don't get the context, you assume it's just a twerking flash mob in school.
Oh man.
So yeah, like I think there's a lot to be said on like in general, like Horikoshi's parental culture aspects that he's like highlighted throughout the series tend to be pretty on point with the like negative impacts that like parents give their kids. And this is just kind of why I like My Hero so much, because it works as a meta commentary on like actual society from the standpoint of like you have all these easy to make parallels between, well, if you just look at people who basically condition their kids to be major athletes, or like Texas football is a really big thing, where if you read the book like Friday Night Lights, specifically if you read the book, you get all these like highlights to crazy ass like culture within like people basing like bets on high school football games, people doing like basically getting into actual fist fights over it, like grown people being just downright dedicated to going to every single one of these high school football games, even if they don't have kids at that high school anymore. Yep. So like you have this weird like obsessive like borderline celebrity culture attached to Texas football, even at the high school level, that a lot of the like I feel like a lot of those kids who would have went through that program would have like sat there, looked at it, and been like, damn, this is kind of like dealing with my dad, or this is like dealing with these different scenarios that I like had to run into with like the football days and going in and having to like get my leg broken or whatever, keep playing the game or whatever, because like winning in football was way more important than, you know, actually like going to school or getting your classes done, anything like that. Like that, for those of you who watch the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, that scene where the coach comes in there and changes Itadori's fucking form so that he's on the track team, that's something that would happen in Texas football during like the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you know, like I always like the friendship between Momo and Todoroki, because like they were in a similar situation with like expectations being pressed on them, and they like took it to two completely different directions. And one of the reasons Momo is like in my top 4 characters is because like I connect with her arc on like such a level that even though like I prefer characters like Twice in terms of, you know, what they do, I think Momo is an example of how personal MHA can get for like real life issues.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean by, yeah, sorry. I'll let you talk, or you let me talk?
No, I meant like, what were you trying to say?
Okay, because when you talk like this, because Momo, Momo, in the story, she's just a girl that she know that she has some skills, and she doesn't believe that she can live up to these skills. That's what you're thinking, because and it is an issue that, for my part, I can relate to this because my mom always wanted for me to have really good grades, and I always thought myself that I wasn't able to do these things, you know. But she always believed in my potential because she knew how smart I was. This is the way that she's talking about, you know. So, okay, Todoroki, his father never asked this from him. He just asked him to be him, to be the better him. That's what. And I don't really relate to this because I have like another thing with my father. But yeah, and so I don't understand what your point is, Johnny. What do you talk about?
No, I'm not saying they're the same situation. I'm saying it's similar and it's cool because they are like, my headcanon is that one of the reasons Todoroki understands Momo isn't only because the final exams they were together and like he saw her struggles, is also because like he can relate at some level.
I mean, something they share is definitely that they both have.
Yeah, like, you know, it's a very surface level
I mean,
comparison.
it seems like Momo's parents aren't around much. At least they weren't really around that much when they visited, right? And I guess they would work and go on trips and so on. And for Shoto, his mom is of course not around, and instead, while he's there and while he wants him to train with him, he's not emotionally there, right?
But all you're telling now is headcanon, if I understand well.
So yes and no.
Because
wait, Ponzu, this is one of those yes and no kind of situations.
Okay.
Because yes, it's fair to be like, well, there's no like direct hard proof, but you kind of have to realize is that like what we've seen of recommended students so far is like we've gotten to see like Shoto's life, we've gotten to see Momo's like home life a little bit, and that Momo is from like this really rich, illustrious like family.
Yes.
Shoto's from this really rich family, so more than likely Tokage and Mudman are also from like rich, more elite, like hero families, more or less. And so one of the things that you have to ask yourself though is like, why does Momo's confidence collapse so easily? And obviously you have like the early thing like in final exams where she was like, oh man, I must not be like that good because she's not like combat wise leading the pack. Like if you look at USJ, yes, she made objects to like help them, but the main combat coordinator was Jiro for like her section. You have Uraraka stepping up in different ways to like figuring out where the net guard was on Kurogiri, which is what allowed Ida to get out. You fast forward to like the sports festival and she got trounced. So like constantly Momo is like being upstaged and she's from an environment where like being excellent, being perfect, being really great is normally the expectation.
Yeah.
Like to the extent where you got to think like she hasn't had like hot pot stuff. She's from an extremely like rich formal like background. So even if you're not necessarily really rich, you understand like if you have parents that are conditional, like contingent upon you being very formal, very strict, adhering to certain guidelines, then you can relate to that idea. Especially you can tell that Momo like immediately shuts down and starts doubting yourself. And that's why like Shoto has to be like, no, you're better at this than me. That's why you got 2 votes to be the rep, was because I picked you too. Not only did you pick you. So like Momo herself, even though other people are commenting on it, likely comes from a background where everything that she does, every form of excellence is considered the expectation.
Another reason, and
something to be praised for.
Okay.
The last thing I'm gonna say about Momo is that if you read My Hero and like every time she's on screen, you try to get into her head, which isn't very hard because Horikoshi like updates us on her status often. So if you like try to experience her experiences from her point of view, it's like one of the most compelling character arcs in my opinion.
I've also always really, I think of all the characters, Momo is probably the most like me in terms of character, which is why I also related to her a lot. But I've realized that I think she is not just similar to Shoto in many ways, but also to Bakugo in terms of this perfection that has always been there, has always been taken for granted. Because I don't think that she lacked confidence going in. I do think that she was of course expected of her to be good and to be perfect and to make everything right. But I also think that she came from a environment where she was that for very long, and she was aware of that. And the fact that she now isn't anymore, that she isn't the best anymore, is something that is a shock to her, much as it is to Bakugo when he realizes she's not the best anymore.
Yeah, and when you talk about this, I was just thinking about this, but I think that we might learn later in this arc, in the follow-up of these arcs, the parents of Momo, because if they're that rich, and even her quirk, the fact that she has a quirk that she can create things, that it must be that one of his parents must have like or must be a businessman who make like evil things, or they can have quirks like this, her parents, because she has she might have the quirk of one of her parents, of a mix of both. Well, from what we know, So I think that her parents might be important in this next arc. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Also, because I want to like real quick shift gears to this because we mentioned Bakugo and
my favorite character.
I want to go back to this because you notice we got that callback to joint training.
Yep, absolute victory.
And he's like,
Who left?
Yeah.
So my question is, do you guys think Bakugo is completely out, or do you think that, because like last week I was talking about how Bakugo is out because they need to have a less competent leader.
Mm-hmm.
But now what we have is like Bakugo's awake. We have the chance for the Iron Man of the Avengers, if you will. Lead his charge.
No,
I think Bakugo and Endeavor in that sense are similar, that as long as they are awake, they will try to fight. Endeavor now has this emotional shock where we don't quite know how he will react to it. Bakugo doesn't have that, so I do think that Bakugo, I don't really know what he can still do, but I do think that he is trying to do something. He will try.
He can be badass, even half-conscious. He can be...
Yeah.
But
Like,
what is this?
I don't think Bakugo like fighting. I just want to see more coordination, because he's always been the one, like if you think back to like Joint Training Sports Festival, he's always sitting back like this quirk and 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 like as much or better than Deku.
Yes.
At least as good as Deku does. He seems to like read the fights better, and I would say he reads fights better than Deku just based off what happened in this arc alone.
I think what Bakugo is much better in is he's much more instinctive in that sense. Like Deku has a lot of knowledge and can apply that, but it's a lot of learning for him, a lot of thinking. It takes time, but I think Bakugo it's quicker in that sense. He has a better instinct.
No. He's smart. He's smart on the fact that he understands things really fast, on a fast way of pace, and he analyzes things on the spot. Deku is more an encyclopedia. He learns things and then he uses this knowledge by just reading a lot. He doesn't need to read a lot. He just need to analyze things. That's the thing about Bakugo. That's why that he's so good about coordinate things, about thinking about, I need you in my team, because you can do this with my quirk. It can become this. You know, that's more. And Deku is he's collecting information first. He just need to see things once or hear things once. That's why Bakugo is so strong for me.
That's their difference.
Hold on, real quick. I want to say this real quick, then y'all could get back on topic. I saw someone.
GD's here.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat say, I want Rex to take back his tanks, Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. I just read the chapter of Mashle. Mashle is 100% better than Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. Mashle is up.
Hey, Chainsaw Man's been getting back on track.
Mashle. Hey, Mashle up next. Mashle
up
next.
Hey. That chapter was fucking gas. Boy.
That Mashle chapter was flames. That Mashle chapter was flames. Woo.
I'm just glad you at least was willing to put the praise on Mashle. Like, I'm not even going. I haven't read CSM yet, so I'm not going to like comment on that.
Oh, everything was gas this week, boy. Oh my lord.
Yes. Oh my lord. Everything.
Shit, boy.
Read Phantom Seer, by the way.
Yo, bro, that latest Phantom Seer chapter.
Wait, I didn't read Phantom Seer from today.
That yet.
I didn't read Phantom Seer today. I'm reading Dr. Stone from today, right now, just because I got to make sure I'm ready.
I don't think I have fond enough about Endeavor yet.
Yes, Sayas, tell us more.
No, I love the scene where he's internally apologizing to Hawks for being responsible for essentially Shigaraki waking up, therefore Shigaraki's damage, but then also Gigantomachia's damage. He's essentially taking all the blame of the situation on himself, which this wasn't his plan. Like, Endeavor, of course, leads this charge in many ways, but he never told them that they should do this. This isn't his plan. He was in many ways just a pawn. And I think it's I don't know, it's so really, I feel very sorry for him that he feels like he has to take this responsibility on himself. But I'm just so proud of him. also, can we just shortly check if Endeavor just saved Deku's life?
What? You want to double check? See? Oh yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, because Machia starts swinging.
Yeah, and Ida took Bakugo and Enji took Deku. Right?
And might have even reacted faster than Shoto.
Unable to breathe and still saving people here.
I think he reacted faster than Shoto, because you notice he has his hand on Deku, but he's like, all right, you okay, Shoto? Like after Shoto's like after the attack is thrown. So yeah, Endeavor's still pulling out the clutch feats. Where's BG at to explain to him that Bummeroki is still bumming?
Yo,
I thought Endeavor's like line about feeling guilty that Makia getting out is his fault is because like he couldn't take out Shigaraki before he called Makia.
Yeah, that's the.
No,
yeah,
no, of course. But the thing is, I mean, he was one of many heroes that were on the scene here.
It doesn't matter.
But he was the first.
It doesn't matter who was on the scene. He was on the scene, and he's the number one hero. So it's the responsibility. Like it's really hard to put this on Endeavor, but the responsibility lies on him. Like ultimately, at the end of the day, because he's the number one hero.
Yep.
Because
but that's the exact problem that like MHA society does.
Yes, I know. That's the exact problem, and All Might would have got it done, but Endeavor's not All Might, so here we are.
Also, one of the things that I actually really like about that scene, the thing that I like about this scene is that it's kind of a callback to that season 2 opener where, you know, Deku stands up and he's like, yeah, and like he's facing Makia and all these other shadows, but you don't know it's Makia at the time because we didn't have enough information. No. But if you look at it, like everyone's like, after all, I'm this nation's top hero. It's like a direct parallel to like when you see Deku standing up ready to face like Makia and all these other things. Yep.
That's really cool.
I just want to say I don't know how many of y'all was reading the manga when that came out, but like I had been reading the manga for about like I don't know how many years at that point. But when I saw that scene and it was anime original content, I had chills all over my body because I was like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Which scene now?
The opening scene in the anime of season 2 when it was like Deku, like we was getting like a brief recap, and then we saw Deku like going 100% to fight all the villains, and he like used it all over his body. Because like what's crazy is in the manga up until that point we hadn't seen Deku do anything like that. So it was like for us it was like a sneak preview of what was going to happen, and I was so hyped, regardless of whatever the episode. I don't remember what happened in the episode. That had me hype, and I rewatched it like 30 times. I was like, "This is hype."
That's like All Might versus Nomu for me. Like when I first watched My Hero, I had to like watch that over again. What's up, Ponzu?
Okay, guys, I would like to say something. Somebody asked me in the chat, Moon Universe, how is Bakugo a genius?
Huh?
Oh.
Okay, in the whole story they say that he's a genius, but I can't.
Okay, so one real quick. Ida and Momo are the only kids in 1A with higher grades than Bakugo. So think about that. Like the two, like the guy from a super privileged hero family and the super rich girl who probably had like some of the best tutors to help her like offset her quirk are the only two people with better grades than Bakugo. Then combine that with the fact that Bakugo's battle analysis is objectively better than other people's. Like it's straight up been like waves ahead. And
it's the best among the first years.
And couple this with the fact that he is the ultimate bullshit detector in the inverse. Nobody detects bullshit like Bakugo. You come up to Bakugo with a fake smile on your face and he tells you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Yo, Shindo.
Well, to be fair, you come to Bakugo with any smile on your face, he tells you to fuck off.
But like for real, like Bakugo, book intelligence, like actual classroom intelligence is top, like really good. His battle intelligence is really good. His emotional intelligence is really good. I don't know if I would call Bakugo a genius. I would say he's really smart. I don't know if I could classify him as a genius.
No.
I could say he's a prodigy.
Yes.
But like a genius, I don't know if I would like classify him as a genius.
Genius.
The only one that
I know, but like what I'm saying, like genius is something I would consider like the principle. Like with Bakugo,
but for me right now, the only ones who have like genius intellect, because even Momo, the fact I watched some video from a YouTuber like past years about how Momo can be making ships, like ships of GPS are freaking difficult. That the fact that she did it, she must have like a genius intellect, Momo, about this. And Ida is just a worker. He's like a warper. He just works. Even his room is full with books. You know.
I think they're both workers. I think Momo's quirk is very much dependent on studying. It's not so much logical or anything. It's just very much just studying and learning the composition of different items. I mean, because I guess you would have to need an understanding of chemistry, so there is some logic there and physics.
Because people call Deku a genius, and He's not. The whole thing about him that he's not a genius.
He's a nerd. He's a
Deku's he's not a genius. You know what confirmed that Momo is a smart ass? that point and where which ectoplasm was their math teacher, and he was giving them that hard ass calculus or whatever math question it was that people, even Caleb, couldn't decipher. He was like, this question was hard as fuck in real life, and Momo got that shit herself. There's a point in like, yes, studying helps you, but there are people that literally just fucking like geniuses on their own right.
So here's the other thing though, is that like once your IQ hits 135, 134, like 140-ish, you start to count as a genius anyway.
Right.
And it's important to note that Bakugo, Deku, and them, they're doing calculus as the equivalent of sophomores for US terms. So 10th grade of high school or 10th grade of school. So, because yeah, like first year in Japan is actually like the second year of high school in the US. I don't know how you guys structure grades over in Europe. But
I have no idea how it compares.
In Belgium, in Belgium, it's like we get a cycle of 6 years. So you get the primary cycle. So that's you start from 6 to 12, and then you get the secondary cycle is from 12 to 18. So
basically grades 7 through 12, and then you have kindergarten too, though, right?
Yeah, kindergarten is 3 years. It's 3 years. It's like from
K3, K4, K5.
2 years for us.
It's different. We have no kindergarten in the sense you have.
Yeah. Germany is special.
You just took the word and made something else out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like here usually you don't start doing calculus until like 11th or 12th grade. So all of the students in 1A are still considerably smarter than the average high schooler. They're all sitting here in calculus classes. They're all sitting here doing like extra languages, all doing like a bunch of extra stuff as first years. So there's nothing like they are smarter than your average bear. And if you threw most of them into like a normal school, they'd probably be like considered geniuses in their schools, if we're being honest. So when we talk about whether or not Deku and them are geniuses, I think it's important to contextualize who we're comparing them to. Let's see. Okay, example. Hold on, because I want to read this. At my high school, only a few of the smart ass IB AP kids were doing calculus in 10th grade. I did calc in 11th and 12th. Yeah.
All right, so that's the issue. I'm comparing them to my high school experience, and I took a lot of AP classes, and I did like a lot of college course classes in high school. So like if I'm comparing them to like the kids that I grew up with, then they just seem like average kids to me. But if somebody else had like a normal high school experience, it would be different.
Right.
Yeah,
like
I have no idea.
Do you all have units?
But it's not
because in
Probably
Belgium,
10th grade.
in calculus, you get it from your seriously. You get it through you start your second cycles. Calculus you get from your third year. You get calc third year. You're like 15. Like right now, what does Deku? It's what I did in my third year to when I had the same age. So for me, what he does is this normal for me. What he's doing right now.
And also I want to say, like, just because you're taking a class, because
That
I
too.
mean, like,
That too.
like, cause like I remember taking AP calculus, and I was like, dude, when am I ever going to use any of this in
My
ever
life.
again? Dude, like literally, like
now.
Some of the problems literally would start on one board, go to a second board, then end on the third board. I'm like, why is the problem so long for the answer to be like 32? Like,
So
yeah, but
okay, so like for example, like for me, I
No, I
like
think
tested
it's
into
fine
all the
with it.
smart people classes, and then I didn't take half of them, mostly because of like life stuff. But yeah, that's what led to me like see it more. It's like I was like testing into advanced for everything throughout pretty much any time I was in school. I was testing advanced. Like when I was in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, like they were like, oh, like your reading level is beyond a high schooler's. Like they literally just put post high school for my reading level in 6th grade.
That's
So-
why you're an MHA fan.
So like, but I was still going to normal school, so I got to see like the difference between like what, and so like if you're smarter and you're surrounded by a bunch of smarter people, it's easy to like just kind of write them all off as normal because they still have. The other thing though is that I think people associate genius with socially
Einstein
awkward
types.
Einstein types, not being able, and it's like no, like they still have all these ridiculous character flaws. In fact, the most genius people that we have, like Nikola Tesla and all kinds of stuff, had ridiculous fucking quirks to their personality. Like apparently Tesla would count his toes every night before sleep. Like he would just make it a point to like count his toes like repeatedly. Like that's just a thing that he would do. So like you just kind of have to accept the fact that like just because you don't see like all smart all the time doesn't necessarily mean somebody isn't genius. And I also think characters like Batman have kind of like skewed how people see a genius.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta be this stoic, extra calculative. And it's like, no. That's okay. That's something that I'll give a Gravity Boys a lot of credit for, actually.
I
wanted to make a short admission.
Oh, okay.
And that is that since in Germany we don't have calculus classes named as such, we have mathematics as one big subject, which includes all kinds of things. Which also means that I genuinely have no idea what calculus is. I've just learned different things in mathematics.
I think it's
some of it falls under
differential
calculus.
maths.
Yeah, differentials, functions. Everything is about
integrals.
Every function is just all calculus.
Yeah, it's calculus. Yes.
All right.
At the moment,
that would be 7th grade up.
Yeah. So you learn in Belgium. You get these things functions for when you're like 15 years old.
Yeah,
you learn
that would be like 14, 15.
15 in your third year secondary. You get functions. You learn the first grade functions and the second grade function too. So you go with x to the second. You know.
Sounds crazy as hell.
Yeah, I think we started with the things that it goes slow. So we have the basic functions.
Yes.
I think we take them at grade 7, which would be age 14.
Yes.
So I just want to say, when I was in like kindergarten and pre-K, I would put numbers and letters together, and they'd be like, Rex, that is not right. Letters and numbers don't go together. And I was like, why not? And then I get into, and then consider me confused when I got to 6th grade and they started putting letters and numbers together.
And now years later, he's denying the Davies Toya theory.
I remember as a child, I could not draw an E in cursive, so I always drew a 3. I always wrote 3s for E's.
What made me mad is just fucking knowing that like over half the math that you study, like some of it you have like crazy ass real world applications for, but then you have other shit where they're like, not only do letters and numbers not go together, but we're also imagining numbers. Solve this with I, the negative.
Oh yes,
imagining numbers. What you mean?
There's E.
Yeah, that's E. Imagination. That's for imagination. E for imagination. Yeah. In engineering, you have to know this, because sometimes when you build something, you have to understand that sometimes you can go somewhere, you know, and that's why that you use these like functions. Differentials are freaking important for when you make some a bridge and everything. Because I've studied engineering and architecture for 2 years. I got a bachelor for so. And yeah, you need calculus. Calculus is a course that you get for different kind of year, and even a linear algebra. So mixing letters and numbers, I had to do it, like matrices and everything. I studied this. Even now, right now, I'm studying like economics, science economics, applied, and in economics they use also these things.
Ponzu.
I mean,
you're saying that all to say 99.9% of the world population would never use this outside of school. That's all you said. That's all I heard.
Let's be honest. If you, of course, if you go into engineering, physics, electronics, you will need that stuff. But if you go anything else, economics too, you're literally you read the rule of 3. And I think then you're fine.
Yeah, you say
most people's lives, as long as you know 2 + 2 = 4, you're good to go. You're 100% good to go. Like,
over here, like the way they look at it is, it's for opening doors, like in the future.
Yes, that's all it's.
Right. So like, if you studied calculus, even if you like thought you would never do anything with it, or would never like study anything that would require it, you might.
Yes. You might. To be honest, I always liked functions. I was like calculus.
I wanted to get one little last thing out. That after this, Shigaraki's move might be to like hit up Overhaul and steal his quirk, because he's still got the quirk.
Oh,
yeah. That's something we thought. We spoke a lot about Overhaul technically still having his quirk, and that's something I've been thinking about too. That maybe the whole point of Horikoshi mentioning that he still has his quirk technically is only so that it can be stolen.
Dude, if Shigaraki takes Overhaul quirk and then he just deconstructs and reconstructs his body, it's like, yo, we fighting still, right?
Oh damn, man! He will have the power to destruct. Oh man, he's Jesus, literally. He's the one who.
Okay,
so truth be told,
so I don't know how far Tartarus is from where they are right now. This is probably not going to happen, but this will be crazy. But like if the Nomus and the League of Villains and then eventually the Liberation Armies that are like falling behind Giganto arrive on the battlefield, Shigaraki can literally be like, hey yo, Giganto, you're time to go to Tartarus real quick. Take Overhaul's quirk, free all for one, reconstruct.
No, kill all for one.
Or kill him, whatever. You know, whatever Shigaraki's gonna do with him. Reconstructs his body, then goes right back to the battlefield. It's like, okay, we're back. That would be the greatest shit in the entire world. I would be so happy.
My theory is Shigaraki.
Why, you go first.
Okay. Shigaraki is gonna he's not gonna kill 0 for 1 right away, I think. What I think is he's gonna realize how much more he needs to control his quirk, and then he's gonna keep 0 for 1 around for a while, and then he's gonna get rid of him.
Oh yeah. Piggy bank, make sure he doesn't have anything else that he might want, and then kick him out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave you on that.
Peace.
All right, Johnny.
Really fun.
Nice.
I have no idea who you are, but peace.
I know Johnny from a long. Johnny an OG, man. Me and Johnny go way back.
Johnny's the one who never lets me TL sleep tweet because he's always awake when the TL is asleep.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's that Middle East time zone. Bye.
Bye,
man. Be safe. Stay healthy, man.
All right, we got Florian in here.
Florian, never talked. Florian,
baby, what's going on, Flo? What's good,
man? I've been busy. I had to do some errands and stuff for school and stuff, and I also still have to submit something later today. A couple things later today, but I'm just here for Rex. That's all I'm here for.
You missed
it. You missed it.
No, I was listening. I was watching.
Oh, man, can I just say your hair is looking fine, my friend? It's looking glorious and curly.
Tell him, boy. Tell him
this is. I remember I told my friends the other day. I think the only reason why I
clean
because of my hair.
I want to that.
Man, you got a hair, you got a nice smile, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Give yourself some credit.
You know how to dress too, man.
Hey, this stream ain't about me. This is about you, man.
Nah,
I mean, it can be all day. He tried to shut the blade down. Rex, Rex's quirk blasphemy worked on me, but it didn't.
Blasphemy, yo, that'd be an OP quirk. Like you could just conjure bullshit into reality and have other people believe it too.
Damn, that's like if Cammy and Hanabata fused their quirks.
Yeah, that'll be a great quirk.
All right, Aniki, are you dipping right after this? Aniki, are you dipping right after this stream or no?
I might actually have to dip.
All right, so I'm gonna have to just go ahead and lay it out here. What did you read? Because goddamn Jump was on fucking. Please tell me you read Mashal. Please tell me you read Mashal.
I did read Mashal. I've already read Mashal.
I read Mashal too. Oh,
thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
Because that panel, I was like, let's go.
Oh my goodness. But listen, I want to talk about the fact that that's what I've been talking about this entire time. Magical items and how he had the mirror that can reflect each spell that you send back at it with a stronger attack. But I knew this shit wasn't gonna work because I think I was like, all right, it'll work because he used a magic. That nigga said, "Big," slap that nigga through the fucking mirror, bro. I started hollering, dog. That shit was too fucking funny.
Because they're like, "This will throw back any magical attack." Pow,
pow, bro. But bro, they figured out Bass. They finally figured out Bass can't use magic. I forgot they didn't know because then Dot was like, "Mash, we can't beat him." It was like we can't beat him like that. And I was like, "Oh, I forgot these niggas don't know he can't use magic." He did that shit, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute." And they thought of like every fight he had. It was like, no.
I'm so glad that they like that the author didn't do like they try to rationalize what he did. They immediately went to, oh my God, he hasn't been using magic. Oh my God, we have to protect this. And I love the cartoony like bits they go into. It's like them running around with their heads cut off. Like, oh my God, what do we do? And then Masher was like, oh shit, it actually happened. So I found out. It's hilarious, dude. I love Masher.
Because my thing is that I love how everything he did was justifiably magic.
Yeah, it was.
Like nothing that he did was so like. Everything he did was so crazy that it made sense for it to be magic.
Yes.
That like everybody was like, wait, that was just lung capacity? Because like that was
Just
the one that I was
deep
like,
breath.
like that one, yeah, like that deep breath scene is like one where like right there you just give it up and go, yeah, he's got magic. Because you don't do that. But like then it's like,
oh man,
no, he doesn't. He just inhaled. What the fuck?
The one that really kind of solidified that he may have magic to their eyes, honestly, is the broom exam. There's no way that should be a thing without magic, especially the speed.
Right. Or the Quidditch game where he was just like kicking.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Mashal, muscles and magic. You gotta get on.
Muscles and magic,
what the
man.
hell is that? Is that all in Viz?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Go ahead and read it.
It's too fucking funny, bro.
It's what I wanted out of a new series, and it's delivering, man. It's delivering.
You know what? I wish BG ass was here. Of course, he ain't conveniently here because I wanted to get on his ass. How he was always talking about the problem, because you know how he be playing the devil's advocate, or like he go to negative side of the route most of the time. Talk about, well, Mash beat him, and he's too overpowered. This and the other. Mash couldn't even beat this nigga on his own. Confirmed. He needed actual help, and then he had to team up with old boy, and then old boy got snuck because he thought Mash was using magic, and then even then he didn't get beat.
Well,
at that point.
So here's the thing with Mashal being, I'm doing quotation marks around OP. If people already know from the jump he doesn't have magic, that changes their way that they fight him, because they've been fighting him like he does have magic. That's the issue.
Can't figure out what it is yet. Like they've been like, we don't know what kind of magic he's got, but he's doing all this and that. Like, what's the magic here? And the magic has just been getting your ass beat. But like,
yeah, now that they know he doesn't have magic, like it changes. Well, I don't know if the whole series will know, but him not having magic is like, it's not like he's Asta where he has anti-magic. He's just Saitama basically. So like, but he's not on the level of Saitama where he can't be beaten. We've seen him get hurt. It's possible. It's possible to beat Mashu. You just have to do the right combination of shit to beat him. So that's what I like about it. It's really good though.
Also just read the fantasy chapter this week. Like what that's leaving.
Yeah, that's just.
It's a what, Floor?
I'm gonna check it out because I'm still not even caught up on JJK. And,
you don't need to catch up to that. Catch up to Mashu.
Haven't caught up on.
You don't need to catch up to JJK.
What about what's that called? Vigilantes. There we go.
Vigilantes ain't dropped a chapter in a while.
No. You don't have to catch up to that.
Yeah, Vigilantes.
You have to catch up to that. You have to catch up to that. It's too good.
But next chapter for Vigilantes is in 5 days. I didn't even realize it had already been 2 weeks.
Are we doing a live about this?
Oh, I don't know.
Because the last chapter are hitting hard, man. Really. The last chapter of Vigilantes, I'm hoping that we will see them in the main series right now, because all what we have right now in the series of My Hero Academia, and how the way it's leading to be that Deku and some of the students will be like Vigilantes. We need to see the main character of Vigilantes in the story as a teacher for Deku. That would be so freaking
huge fan. If Koichi comes into the series, people are going to be. Man, I don't even want to see
Koichi right now.
Like all like 12.
I'm whipping my ass out, and I'm shitting on all these niggas. I'm like, this is the biggest I told you so moment. Koichi pop out. Is it?
But that's the thing. Is it an I told you so moment? Did you need to know? Do you need a Gang Orca backstory? Do you need Aizawa backstory for them to be teachers? No, you don't. Like all right, I'm putting my foot on. You don't need.
Nigga, what?
No. Rex. What you just said explains exactly why there's no right to complain about Vigilantes.
I didn't say complain. I said you don't need to read it. Nobody in this chat if you haven't read it, you do not need to read it.
So here's the thing. You technically don't need to read Vigilantes. You just end up complaining about random shit that would have been better if you just read it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like, honestly, just take if you haven't read Vigilante, just take the notion of it out of your mind and ignore people like East and Aniki when they say, "Oh, this was a Vigilante." Just ignore what they say and just enjoy My Hero. Like the whole Aizawa thing. If you didn't know Vigilante existed, you literally have no problem with it. I promise you don't.
No. The thing about the Vigilantes, it is something good to have to know about the work. If you want,
Panzo,
as a fan of My Hero Academia,
Panzo,
about his work.
I agree with you. Vigilantes is great. It contextualizes a lot of stuff that we want to know about the world of My Hero.
Yes.
But that being said, a lot of people have issues with reading stuff out of the canon manga. They don't want to do extra work. Niggas are just naturally lazy. So, in that sense, when I go to the average person, they do not have to read Vigilante to enjoy My Hero. Nothing is missing out of My Hero if you don't read Vigilante. It's just extra. It's fluff. It's sprinkles.
So Rex, I feel like what you're really saying ultimately can be condensed down to, if you're just reading for your enjoyment, you don't need to read Vigilantes. You should probably read Vigilantes though if you're going to be doing like whole think pieces on the series. Yes. Just because there's extra context within Vigilantes that will make your think pieces not garbage. Yes. Or it won't result in you having missed this.
Yeah, but most people only read or watch My Hero casually.
Yeah.
So like that's what I said. Like Vigilantes isn't a requirement. Like for us, like I plan to read. Like I started reading Vigilantes since chapter 1 came out. I just didn't like the inconsistent scheduling of it. So that's the reason I dropped it. Yeah. That's the real reason I dropped it. But now that it's more consistent, I may pick it back up. But that's the if.
I always say you need to read Vigilantes from the perspective of like, if you're out here trying to do like these nuanced takes and like deep dives, you should probably make sure you're reading all the canon material, because otherwise you're gonna miss some shit, and then somebody's gonna correct you on it, and you're gonna be like, "That's not true," and then they're literally gonna hand you Vigilantes panels, and you're gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, like the fact that I forgot this genius can control any type of fiber thing.
Yeah, like that'll be one of those things that, like, if people get mad about that, like when he pulls up and the carbon fiber cables are flying around and stuff, like, this doesn't make sense. It'll be like, well, actually, if you read Vigilantes, this does.
Yes.
But,
I'm pretty sure if they do it in the canon material, they're gonna explain it.
Yeah, they're gonna explain it. Like even the Aizawa thing, like
they don't need to.
They explained it. Like they didn't go into like extreme details. They explained it.
Listen. It's all that the people that I actually read the Aizawa backstory prior to the Shirakumo reveal.
Yeah.
Guess what we had over the people that had the reveal after they had the whole brief two panel backstory in the actual manga. And Vigilantes, we had a whole fucking 7 chapters dedicated to these entire like fully understand who the fuck Shirakumo Oburo was. It wasn't just it was Aizawa. Oh no, you seen his whole character, how Aizawa became who he is now, essentially, because he didn't have any motivation or any strive, and he had lots of potential, but he just didn't put himself forward. And you just see that growth between all of them, and you get to see so much Midnight too. It's just like,
so the characters right now suffering, like these three like Midnight. I forgot DJ Punch. I forgot the name of the voice. Mike, and Aizawa. What the way that they're suffering right now, if you read the Vigilantes, you know how deep they are as characters and how they love about each other and everything, and how they suffer too. So when you see them being teachers in the same school that they went to, and trying to give their experience to the children in their own way, it is really something. Because right now you see like Mike is right now sitting next to the guy who killed his best friend, one of his best friends. He's just right now really trying to control himself to not kill this guy. We just got Midnight is maybe died right there, killing by some people from the paranormal I forgot the liberation thing, trying to help the thing that she swear to protect the people and the children, the students, and she said to Momo, "You can do this." As her last word as a teacher and as a hero, she gave the comment to Momo, and you get Aizawa cut his leg off to protect is because he knew he was the last time to protect his students. Oh man, this thing, man, the whole evolution about these characters in My Hero Academia. If you read Vigilantes, it hits so much for you.
Well, no. The thing is, I never felt like I feel more for Aizawa after the flashback.
Really?
But did you already like Aizawa?
Yes. I already liked Aizawa. That's the thing. I think one of it is also that I have to admit that for me, the Kakashi parallel kind of plays a role, which is weird. It's I try not to let it affect me, but the thing is, it's clearly that Aizawa is in many ways influenced by Kakashi. There's no problem. Yes. I don't see a problem in
many characters are influenced by Kakashi.
I don't take a problem with that. My issue is a little bit that I just love Kakashi so much, and the parallel to Aizawa, he's like, he automatically pales, which is unfair. I know, it's just
especially because he's a way better teacher than Kakashi.
100% way better teacher.
Oh yeah,
phenomenally way better than Kakashi.
But like honestly, like
well, he is. I have to say, Aizawa is actually as a teacher weird because he's very good with the whole emotional stuff, but with the actual teaching stuff, he just likes to fall asleep.
That's not true.
That's because he's a homeroom. You gotta factor in.
Yeah,
he's like
I know,
a homeroom teacher,
but
so
the actual classes stuff, he's not the best in that sort regard. Like
that's not his job.
Do their thing in many ways.
I'm about to defend Aizawa real quick. All right, so he's a homeroom teacher, so he's not actually teaching them. He's literally just giving them the general overview of like what they will be doing. So like when it's time for them to train and stuff, that's when he gets more hands-on involved. When they have to do physical things like that, that's when he gets involved. But for like the other classes and stuff, that's out of his control. So other than that, he's resting and like chilling out. And also like
no, I mean for example, when remember after the joint training arc, I think he just gave them all an okay for the training, and it was specifically pointed out that Vlad gave his students a like more thorough breakdown of what they did, what they could have done different, and they were they were like looking over and like, oh, why do they get comments and we just get this okay?
No, I disagree with that because I recently really just read last week. He told them he asked them first of all, were y'all problems, and some of them didn't list out, especially in the first round. He told them what, and then it was like, well, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and he told Kirishima, he was like, you need to learn, you need to bring the fight to them if they're not gonna bring the fight to you if you can't. If that's your issue, he told them all the issues they had. He told Sushi was okay for the most part. What the people he told people their shortcomings were,
and also
characters commented.
Yeah, also he roasted Kaminari specifically.
Yeah, he didn't just let them just slide. Like, yeah, you guys.
And also, 1A is a lot different from 1B. As much as like 1B is, I would say is a lot more technical than 1A. I would say because 1A have experienced all the like villain like attacks and stuff. I would say they criticize themselves a lot more, and they can like, I don't know, it's weird to say, but they can look at themselves and what they've done wrong more because they've experienced so many villain attacks that they can be like, okay, if I would have did this in the actual scenario, I would have like, So I think Aizawa realizes that, and I think that's also plays into like the provisional license exam where Aizawa was like talking to Joke and was like, what's the point of telling them? They got to realize this stuff on their own anyways. It's like certain things they need to figure out themselves.
Yeah, that's the best way. The best way of teaching is the balance. The best way of teaching is not only the teaching is to know when you have to not to let your students learn on their own. It's something that really is important in teaching.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think what Aizawa is what he does most of the time, where he lets them figure things out by themselves, and which is also the way that whenever he just gives them a task and then falls asleep.
I got an announcement for you guys. Aniki, we get 150 likes on the video.
Oh, snap. We are here.
Let's go. Appreciate y'all. Man.
I appreciate y'all. Really, thank you. I was pushing it, but thank you. Really.
Yo, shout out to Panzu. Because this nigga really be in the chat talking about get the likes. Every stream.
Also, Aizawa didn't kill his best friend, and also Aizawa didn't let one of his students turn to the dark side. But let's go on to the next thing.
The thing is, Kakashi is not a great character because he's flawless.
No.
Oh, here we go. He's back.
What does that even mean?
Man. I hate a flawless argument. Yeah, he killed.
Also, I'm looking back and like looking at the end of round 5, for example. So first off, Midoriya, want to tell us what happened? So like Aizawa leads with, all right, Deku, what happened here?
Yeah, he lets them figure it out themselves.
Like he let him explain it because like
at the end of the day, Aizawa doesn't know what his quirk is for real. So like, you got to tell me
Does
what
All
just
Might know
happened
what
with
this quirk is?
No. So he's like, you got to tell me what happened with your powers here, Midoriya. And then like, you know, he gets like his conversation with Shinso where he chokes him up a bit because, you know, he was being down on himself. So I do think we get like a lot of, I do think some of it's like off screen as like the arc progresses. Like there's no round 3 follow-up because they destroyed half the city they were supposed to be in, right? So like there is some, and then like round 4, what happened? Bakugo and them just like put their dicks on the table and called it a day.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree that as far as fighting teacher goes, he's amazing. I think as far as emotional support goes, I think he's amazing. I think my comment was only in regards to if he were actually a teacher at an ordinary school teaching an actual subject, he would be a little bit of a weird teacher, a bit of an unconventional teacher, just using his
Kakashi,
thing,
he comes a little too
pulling
late.
up and just figure it out yourself.
You know what? I actually disagree with that because Aizawa takes all his jobs so serious. If he actually had to teach, I think he would actually put the time to study and act. Of course, you guys have read Vigilante, so y'all know like who he is as a person. But just from what I've gotten, like he seems like the person that if he was given the role of actually teaching a subject, and he would put it in, like he would go 120% into it.
I think we forget, I think we forget who we filling out the paperwork and going for like orders and getting slips and shit like that. How many times have we seen this nigga actually with the bun up at the computer desk? Like, wasn't Bakugo versus Deku like fucking like 9-10 o'clock at night?
He was grading papers and stuff. And
on the computer doing work for these niggas. Like
he was like, I'm grading papers. Like, you idiots, can I please?
Yeah, like he be putting in his work. Like he be putting in his work too. Like even if he was just like a normal school teacher, like teaching a subject, he would still put his foot forward.
Also, a reason why I like the reason Horikoshi gave Aizawa the Shurikimo stuff is because it's easy to see. I'm pretty sure Horikoshi sees this. Aizawa is a fan favorite, regardless if he's on a top 10 popularity polls or not. Especially with American fans, everybody immediately gravitates towards Aizawa. Like everyone loves the teacher role. Everyone loves Aizawa. So like even if you like the emotional impact that you get from reading Vigilante, I think it's still there if you don't do it because it's like I love this character. So like when he's in pain, I'm in pain. So it's like I've never seen anybody like actually have like dislike Aizawa. They may not be his favorite character.
My first favorite character.
Well, you know what's funny for that? My brother, he literally fucking at first when he was watching, because he just finished catching up not too long ago. So when he was first watching, we was watching together. He was like, "Man, who this asshole right here?" He's like, "Man, he fucking with my boy Deku and shit like that." He was like, and then he was like, oh, "Okay, Deku." He was like, "Bro, you gonna fuck with her later on?" Watch. He's like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with this nigga." But then when they got around to USJ and he seen Aizawa put his foot forward, was murking nigga left and right, and then he sacrificed himself for the kids. It was getting fucking stomped out by fucking the Hawk, the mini Hawk right there. He's like, "Man." I really started feeling like Aizawa was really one of the so interesting from the start. He really stands out from the moment he on screen.
I know.
He was, as I said, he was from very much from the beginning. He was my first favorite character. Pretty much the only reason why I even watched until season 2. And I just meant that knowing his backstory didn't make me like him more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the backstory is an interesting like tidbit, but I don't think it's like for example Kakashi.
Say tidbit.
Tidbit, yeah. Like Kakashi, like we got the Ren and Obito stuff, but also Kishimoto wrote a novel of like everything that Kakashi went through, and they eventually adapted that into like filler episodes. That's not really filler, but it's canon. But they classified as filler for some reason.
Amazing episodes.
Yeah, those are some amazing episodes, and you really get to see how Kakashi went from like this super dark, brooding person, like after the Obito Ren stuff and the Anbu, to like this finally been able to realize that he's fit. Because like when he was originally signed to be a Jonin teacher, he thought it was the worst decision that the third Hokage ever made. So like you get to see like his progression and stuff, but like you don't need that stuff to enjoy Kakashi for what he is. No. It's just a nice team.
Listen, all I got to say is, if you really read Vigilantes, you fuck with Ignium.
Yes,
that nigga is a goat boy.
Well, you mean a goddess paralyzed?
Ingenium.
Yeah. The guy that's paralyzed from the waist down, man. It's cool, man.
I mean, I always liked Ingenium.
Coming from the guy wearing a clown suit next week. It's cool.
At least, hold on, East,
always loved him.
East.
I
At
always
least
really
I can
liked
walk. At least I can walk.
Hey, he went down with his pride. How can we say the same about you?
Man, how and Stain would have saw me. He was like, "Yo, your conviction, you triple, quadruple down." I gotta respect that nigga like that. And Stain would have kept walking. And Genium shivered. He was who Stain, and then now look where is he? A quadriplegic, sad.
Never gonna
Yeah,
forgive
had to give his brother his name. Psst, trash.
I can't wait till next. Somebody got some pills so I can sleep till next Sunday.
All right, let's get these final thoughts out here. Ponzu, you can go first.
And then it was a 10 on 10 right now today. That was well done, well written, well drawn. So what we can say, guys, be there on the stream Tuesday for Heineke. Support him because he's gonna push the agenda, the MHA Academia, and under the luck agenda. So be there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love, the conversations. Thank you for everything, guys. Really. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Panzu out.
Hey, Panzu.
Florian?
Rex the Clown. End statement.
Florian always got to come in with some extra meme shit. Rex?
No.
I want to say 10 out of 10 chapter. Pretty much expected. I'll have the clown suit for next week. I should at least. What else? Read Mashal if you haven't. Great.
Yes.
I give it my honest rating would be I give it a 6.5, a 7 on a good day. It's enjoyable to read. Yeah. Great week.
All right, East.
You already know what it is, man. Just like every other single chapter in MHA, 10 out of 10. You know what? This is a different breed. Motherfucking infinity out of 10. Every time I think about this God tier chapter, that just keeps rising and rising and rising. My goodness, this nigga can never miss. MHA peak fiction, 10 out of 10. That's all there is to it. Y'all niggas need to read Undead because fuck they dropping bombs. You need to read Phantom Series. That shit was gas. Master was God tier. Chainsaw Man hit my soul. And JJK throwing the best hands of jump right now. You'd love to see it. Hurry to go. I'm out.
Say yes.
I really enjoyed it. I'm currently starting to read the chapters with a thinly concealed layer of dread. But I really like the chapter. So
yeah, he's dead, Sayas. Just go ahead and like the funeral arrangement just
Oh my god.
If he dies, let me enjoy my last
chapters with him.
Look, we're gonna have to get you that body pillow. Don't worry. We getting that Sayas body pillow out here. Pronto. She needs that Endeavor body pillow. We're gonna make it happen. Because she's losing her favorite character by the end of this year.
I lost my third favorite character, and nobody wanted him to die.
Your third favorite character?
I'm talking about twice.
Endeavor is my favorite, second, and third favorite character because that big is the gap between him and then Aizawa, I guess.
But the thing is, everybody. Like, I'm not saying everybody wants Endeavor to die, but it's expected.
No.
Nobody wanted Twice to die. Nobody even asked for it. It was like, hey, here's the kill list. We got All Might.
I have
we got
the choice
Endeavor.
to make between Twice and Endeavor. I let Twice die 10 times.
Literally,
I let Endeavor die 1,000.
I literally, like, honestly, I literally would have predicted Shigaraki's death before Twice's death. Honestly.
Oh God.
Promise you, nobody saw Twice death coming, and I like when I read that chapter, I was like, "Wait, is this serious? Is this nigga?" I was upset. I was actually upset. I didn't.
I was sure that
he told me wait that day.
Honestly, I think the main reason why it was for me such a big twist was because it came right after this ending arc, which had this big theme of heroes don't kill going on. And then immediately next arc was so much about that. I mean, of course you could have seen it coming that they would kill eventually, but it would happen right there, right then with the most developed character in the league. at this point.
Oh, you people and heroes. Just goes to the wolf. My nigga was straight to the end. Fuck that bird, nigga, man.
All right,
Hawks is pretty cool.
Oh my god! All right, before East decides to go on a rant about how that bird bitch need to die. Thanks to everybody who came. Wait, what?
I also need to say something. Hawk's still one of the best characters in JJK. My bad, East.
Oh, yeah. It's not that he's not one of he was in my top 5 until he did what he did. And let's clarify something too. Let's also clarify this. It's not the fact that he killed. I could have dealt with that and not hated that nigga. It's the fact that how he went about that shit and then talk shit to rub it in his face. Let's talk about the Liberation Front. I made it sound so easy. I made it sound so good and easy, huh? And then try to play, and then people try to defend it like, he gave twice the option. Nigga, you just played me like the fool. You think I'm gonna trust you? You played me for 3 months straight, and you think I'm gonna turn my back around? Oh, well, you know what? I just need my friends who actually have my back and trust you who just betrayed me. And you got a fucking blade in my face. Come on now. Metaphorically and physically stabbed in the back.
Just given up? I mean,
Hawks is pretty cool.
Chance.
Hawks is pretty cool.
Yeah, he is pretty cool, man.
The way you put that makes me like Hawks more.
I'm not gonna say that, but
it's okay. That's why that nigga walking. Bitch ass.
What?
Clap them wings again. Let's see that.
Chief D Hater said, "I saw twice his death coming as soon as he got killed."
Yeah.
Oh no! I knew that he was going to die. I know what he was going to die because the way that Hawks was talking. If you don't come with me, I have to stop you. I knew that at that moment that if he doesn't try to become a good guy, he was going to die because his job was to stop the. Hawks was a spy. Hawks was a spy trained to kill people from his young age. So yeah, I expected him to.
So what's his new name? It's no longer Hawks. So it's just we got Walks, and then we also honestly my favorite one is Humans because niggas not flying anymore. It's just called
Humans.
Yo, that's that nigga name from now on. They be like Hawks. I'm like, who you talking about? You mean Humans?
Oh no! Ain't nothing like a Hawk, man.
Oh no! Dog said his name is Humans. I'm sick.
Yo, directly to whoever said that, because I'm about to crown that nigga king. Whoever said that, I'm about to crown that nigga king.
Oh no!
You got to call them Humans from now on. Shout out to everybody who came through today. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to Dustin, Roger, Johnny, who's not here, Ian for sending his text messages in, even though he couldn't come in. Obviously, much love to you, Sayas, Rex, East, Flo, Fonzu, everybody's here right now.
Yay!
Really looking forward to the greatest manga of 2020 stream that I'm going to be a part of on Tuesday. That should be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys tune in, drop them hail hories when it's time to praise Toshi.
Yeah, I know, man.
I know Attack on Titan is probably your your series to like push for like number 1. But I am asking you as like a dirty politician to put your objectivity out of the window and just literally go hard for MHA because honestly at this point I think Attack on Titan is gonna win. But
let me put it this way: Attack on Titan is a series I'm fine with MHA losing to. MHA is actually what I would consider the best manga this year, though.
Oh yeah, okay. Sure. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Speaking of chapters, Anaki, Shisui said you gave the last AOT chapter 8 out of 10. You said it was just decent, or was it good? It was just
the one that came out like this last week. I was like, this is a solid chapter, but like it didn't like blow my mind. And I think part of that is though just that AOT is spending a lot of time like fleshing out characters or showing us like side plots that need to be finished and wrapped up. And so some of those, so there's like there'll be like 10, 15, 20 pages within the chapter that I just don't feel shit.
It's just going through the motions to make sure the story doesn't have any plot holes.
Right, I don't care about Annie's family at this point. I don't care about Reiner's family. So getting to see them does nothing for me.
Yes. Yeah, but it has to be shown because so I see. That's why I haven't seen any hype for like AOT like as of late because I've just been guessing that it's just like wrapping everything up.
There's
before
like,
the-
yeah, like some of this is like just straight up like wrap up information. And there's like, don't get me wrong, there's like small things to be hype about. Like the last chapter of AOT, that's one that I was really hyped about. I was kind of really hyped about because it was like Aaron being like, no, like you're all free to do what you want. And because they were like, why didn't you take back, like, why didn't you know, I'm not even gonna explain it just because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but no, there's like some good questions or whatever. And I love when authors stick to their characterization guns. So that was really good for me. But like this, like most recent chapter, it was like, yeah, this is cool. This is like some hype shit that you get like right before action happens, but it didn't like hit me in the chest. Cause like
I saw niggas that hit my chest. I just saw black people.
I'm used to niggas dying. Like, niggas die every day, B.
Especially in Attack on Titan, where it's like commonplace.
No. I said niggas. I was talking about the black people of my. I was people. These niggas I was listening to know about these problems and they get just to die like this. I was, bro, really? But yeah, like so it was just like to remember. Yeah, it was a good chapter, man. Nothing more, you know.
What time is the stream? Oh, what time is the stream?
I believe it's supposed to start at like noon Pacific time, so 3 p.m. your time.
Tomorrow?
3 p.m. Okay.
Tuesday.
Did Flo just say mom?
Tomorrow.
Oh, I thought he said mom.
I heard mom too.
Yeah, I did.
It's still out of context.
Right now,
tomorrow.
the Flo is right now. It's in students' room, no, which is because last time that I saw his home, he was like in a white room like this.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like he was in like the sterile room where like.
Y'all don't know. Flo just uses multiple of his his concubines' houses at multiple occasions. So last week it was Melissa. This week is what was her name? You said it was Lucinda and wasn't Maria 2 weeks ago?
Flo is having girls. McKinnon is back.
All right. We're gonna wrap this up.
Blasphemy course too far.
We're gonna wrap this up knowing that on today's episode of Flo's Hose, there's a new backdrop. But appreciate everybody that came through. Drop the Hail Hories. We love you. The church always appreciates. Get my ass to 1K so we can really start getting these moves popping.